that has a balance of about 30 minutes. But away from that, the formulation of a land use policy on matters zoning of land for agriculture and built development is a motion lined up for debate this morning by Honorable Tim Wanyonyi. The member for Westlands is seeking to have the National Assembly in this motion on formulation of a land use policy on matters zoning of land for agriculture and built development resolve that the government, through the Ministry of Lands, Public Works, Housing and Urban Development, puts in place a policy framework for the effective land use in rural areas. This is by the consolidation and the designation of zones for built development, for commercial and residential developments with shared public utilities, and separate zones for agriculture use in order to arrest further diminishing of agricultural land and steady the country's agricultural productivity. The Breastfeeding of Mothers Bill, National Assembly Bills number 8 of the year 2024, is lined up for debate this morning. The bill is currently at the second reading stage of the bill, where members usually debate the proposals in the bill. In this case, they'll be debating the Breastfeeding Mothers Bill by Honorable Sabina Chege. And after that, the House will then move to consider a motion by Honorable Charles Ngusia on the formulation of a reward scheme for accomplishments by sports person in international competition. In the motion, the Vumwa states that aware that sports plays an integral role in the promotion of cultural heritage, national identity, national development, and the well-being of the people to sustain livelihoods,
Now we have the requisite quorum to transact business. Clerk.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair. Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Proceed, Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Wednesday, July 30th, 2025, in the morning sitting. 1. Reports of the Auditor General and financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2021, 30th June 2022, 30th June 2023, and 30th June 2024, and the certificates therein in respect of Kainuk Mixed Secondary School and 2 Turkana East Technical and Vocational College, TVC. 2. Reports of the Auditor General and financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2022, 30th June 2023, and 30th June 2024, and certificates therein in respect of 1. Bishop Mahon Teachers Training College and 2. Narok Teachers Training College. 3. Reports of the Auditor General and financial statements for Loima Technical and Vocational College and financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2023 and certificates therein. Honorable Speaker, 4. Reports of the Auditor General and financial statements of Turkana North Technical and Vocational College for the year ended 30th June 2023 and 30th June 2024 and certificates therein. 5. Auditor General's summary report on National Government Constituencies Development Fund for the year ended 30th June 2024. 6. Reports of the Auditor General and financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2024 and the certificates therein in respect of AIC Kangitit Girls Secondary School, 2. Chewoyet National School, 3. Machakos School, 4. Matungulu Girls Secondary School, 5. Napelilim Secondary School, 6. St. Brigid's High School, Kiminini, 7. St. Teresa's Tatar Girls Secondary School, and 8. Turkana Girls Secondary School. 7. Honorable Speaker, annual report on financial statements of Kirinyaga University for the year ended 30th June 2024. My Speaker, I beg to lay.
Thank you. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
The Honorable Geoffrey Mulanya, are you in the House?
Yeah,
You may proceed.
yeah. Thank you. Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion. That this House adopts the first report of the Constitutional Implementation Oversight Committee on the status of implementation of the Constitution by the following independent commissions laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 12th November 2024. Kenya National Commission on Human Rights. Number 2, the National Land Commission. And number 3, the National Gender and Equality Commission. I beg to lay.
Thank you, Honorable Mulanya. Next order.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Is the Honorable Joshua Kandie, Member of Parliament Baringo, in the House? Is the Chair, Administration and Internal Security? Okay, the first statement on issuance of work permits to foreign nationals is hereby deferred. We can move to the next one by the Honorable Dr. Kainan, Member of Parliament, Eldas. Chair, Finance and National Planning.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Request for a statement on the expansion of financial institutions in Northern Kenya region. Madam Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning regarding the expansion of financial institutions in Northern Kenya region. Madam Speaker, over the years, there has been a shortage of adequate banking and financial institutions in Northern Kenya region. This shortage has negatively affected the residents who are predominantly dependent on pastoralism, trade, and informal micro enterprises. Financial institutions serve as engines of economic development, fostering innovation, resilience, and prosperity, which ultimately results in transformative value in anchoring community development. In addition, Madam Speaker, financial institutions stimulate formal business growth, transition households from subsistence to stability. It is therefore essential to expand banking infrastructure and leverage mobile money, digital platforms, and fintech innovations to reach the pastoralist community of Northern Kenya. Madam Speaker, it's against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Finance and Planning on the following. A detailed report on the strategies being implemented by the government to increase the physical and digital presence of financial institutions across Northern Kenya region. 2, the plans that the government is putting in place to ensure that financial institutions model their services to nomadic lifestyle, addressing security and infrastructural challenges being faced by the pastoralist community of Northern Kenya. 3, Madam Speaker, a detailed report on the comprehensive and culturally responsive, because it's a constitutional requirement, a comprehensive and culturally responsive financial literacy programs being offered by the government to raise awareness among women, the youth, the elderly, and persons with disability, especially those residing in Northern Kenya region. 4, Madam Speaker, a framework put in place to incentivize financial institutions to offer inclusive and affordable credit and investment services to the vulnerable pastoralist people of northern Kenya. And finally, the plans that the government is putting in place to adopt digital financial services to bridge the financial divide in northern Kenya, including plans to partner with government, non-governmental agencies, and in particular, private partnerships. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kainan. Chairperson, Finance and National Planning. And in the absence of the chair, I would like to call upon Majority Leader, give an indication on when this request for statement will be responded to.
I will gladly say 2 weeks, Honorable Speaker, and I'll talk to the chair to ensure it's done within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, before we invite the Honorable Joshua Kandie, I would like to recognize the presence of students seated in the Speaker's Gallery this morning from Kapsabet Boys High School and JSS. Kapsabet Boys JSS from Chesumei constituency, Nandi County. You are welcome to the National Assembly to continue observing proceedings. Honorable members, we have other students seated in the public gallery. Students from Turimatweru School in Tharaka constituency, Tharaka Nithi County. St. Peter's Sangalo School from Mosop constituency in Nandi County. Petra Education Center from Sirisia constituency in Bungoma County. And ASE St. Bridget's Academy, Keyo South constituency, Marakwet, Elgeyo Marakwet County. You are all welcome to the National Assembly to continue observing proceedings. And before we continue, I would like to invite the chair, the Honorable Murungara, to welcome all students on behalf of the House.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, allow me to welcome the young students and pupils who have paid us a courtesy call this morning to come and observe the proceedings of the House. I welcome them to the National Assembly, where laws of the country, the budgeting process, and oversight of the executive is actually done. I know these are tomorrow's leaders, and they aspire to become like the honorable members of parliament here. And mine is to encourage them to study very hard so that they attain this, and at one time in the future, they are able to come. Students from Turimatweru Primary School, senior primary and junior secondary, from the Tharaka Nithi, in spite of the difficult circumstances in that marginalized constituency, I welcome you. That's where we came from, we made it, and you can also make it. So feel welcome, and may you have fruitful deliberations and hearing as you listen to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's where the Honorable Wakili Murungara comes from, and that is where the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya comes from. So feel encouraged. We will go back to the Honorable Joshua Kandie, Member of Parliament Baringo. You may proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Pursuant to provisions of Standing Order 44.2c, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the issuance of work permits to foreign nationals. Honorable Madam Speaker, in this era of rapid expanding international trade and integration of world economies, migration policies must be geared towards building and maintaining a fair opportunity platform for both nationals and foreigners, while protecting vulnerable groups and ensuring sustainable development of the local human resource. While expatriates contribute to the transfer of knowledge, investment, and skill development, it is imperative that their engagement in the local job market does not undermine employment opportunities for qualified Kenyan citizens, especially the youth. Madam Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration on and Internal Security on the following. 1, a report on the number of foreign nationals who have been issued with work permits in Kenya, indicating their duration of the permits granted for the last 5 years. A report on the status of all foreign nationals in Kenya whose permits have expired as per May 2025, and an indication of actions being taken by the Ministry of Interior and National Administration to identify, monitor, legally remove foreign nationals illegally working in the country following their expiration of their permits. And third, the steps being taken by the ministry to ensure foreigners are not issued with work permits for skills that are readily available in the local labor force in order to reduce unemployment rate among Kenyans. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kandie. Chair, Administration and Internal Security.
Thank you, Honorable Madam Speaker. We'll be able to give a response to this statement in 2 weeks' time.
In 2 weeks?
Yes.
Is that agreeable with you, Honorable Kandie? Thank you. Next is the Honorable Sabina Chege, also known as Maito.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I stand pursuant to the provision of Standing Order number 44-2C, where I wish to request for a statement from the Chairperson of Departmental Committee on Health regarding the coverage of cochlear implant surgery under the Social Health Insurance Fund, known as SHIF. Honorable Speaker, the sense of hearing is important for the cognitive development of our children. And the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics and World Health Organization estimate that approximately 1 in 1,000 children in Kenya are born with severe to profound hearing loss. If untreated, hearing loss is often associated with academic underachievement, which may lead to reduced employment opportunities in life. Worryingly, individuals with hearing loss who require cochlear implant surgery are allegedly not covered under the Social Health Insurance Fund. And Madam Speaker, without suitable interventions, hearing loss will continue being a barrier to both education and social integration of the affected people, especially our children. Madam Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Health on the following. 1, a report on whether cochlear implant surgery is covered under Social Health Insurance Fund, and if not, the measures being taken by the government to ensure provision of cochlear implant surgery under the Social Health Insurance Fund. 2, steps being taken to ensure provision of cochlear implants for hearing impairments in the country to adhere to international best practice. And 3, measures being taken to raise awareness on hearing loss and the importance of cochlear implants in the country. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Sabina. Chair Health. In the absence of the Chair Health. Oh yeah, I can see the Honorable Nikal. Only that you are not seated on your usual place.
Yes. Thank you, Chair. I think this is important, and I think we should be able to get this report in 2 weeks' time.
Thank you. In 2 weeks, Honorable Sabina Chege, is that agreeable?
That's fine, Madam Speaker, though a week would have been enough. This is just to know whether it's covered or not, and measures. So, and him being a doctor and having been a former PS, I'm sure he can fast track to 1 week. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Would you like to make a comment on that, Honorable Dr. Nikal? She's requesting for a week. Are you able to give the response in 1 week?
I think to be accurate, really, let's do 2 weeks, and I'll make all effort. This is important, and we are going to get some information. I think some they'll even have to seek information outside the country for going by the question. So 2 weeks, if she can bear with us.
Yeah. So we go for 2 weeks. Next is the Honorable Owen Bayer, in your capacity as a member for Kilifi North.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Yes, in my capacity as member for Kilifi North, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker,
Pursuant to the provision Standing Order 44.2c, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Tourism and Wildlife regarding the management of Watamu Marine National Park and Reserve by the Kenya Wildlife Service. Honorable Speaker, the Watamu Marine National Park and Reserve is internationally renowned for its natural beauty, boasting a rich marine life featuring the whale sharks, manta rays, 3 species of sea turtles, and the beautiful coral reef gardens, among others. It is also recognized internationally as a UNESCO biosphere reserve and designated as a site of natural excellence. This is also because of its unique role in protecting marine ecosystems and biodiversity, a duty entrusted to the government under the Constitution of Kenya. Honorable Speaker, in the recent past, the Kenya Wildlife Service, KWS, appears to have overlooked the collaborative approach for the management of Watamu Marine National Park and Reserve. This is attributed to the Kenya Wildlife Service imposing new charges on recreational activities in the park and have been repeatedly harassing fishermen in the area by confiscating their boats and nets, which are essential for their livelihoods. Honorable Speaker, communities of Watamu and Dabaso Ward have been aggrieved by the fact that most of the revenue derived from the marine parks in the area is collected and utilized solely by KWS rather than also being invested in the community through corporate social responsibility initiatives. Additionally, the Mida Creek landing sites remain ungazetted, hence landowners bordering it claim ownership of the riparian area, thereby hindering activities by the fishing communities. Local residents also face restricted access to the beach as investors have been permitted to fence up to the mangrove forests. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Tourism and Wildlife on the following. 1, efforts being made by the Minister of Tourism and Wildlife to enforce a 50-50 revenue sharing deal between the Watamu Marine National Park and the Kilifi County government. And 2, an inquiry into the utilization of funds the Kenya Wildlife Services in management of Watamu Marine National Park and recommendation for corporate social responsibility initiatives within the local community. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Chair, Tourism and Wildlife. Any member of that committee? Any member of Tourism and Wildlife Committee? In the absence of the chair and a member, and now that the majority, Honorable Baya is the one asking the question. I think now you stand in your capacity as majority leader and give a commitment to the House.
Interesting, Honorable Speaker, very interesting times these are. But Honorable Speaker, I want to request, on behalf of the committee, to tell them that they must, to tell them, and I promise the House that they will, bring the communication in 2 weeks' time. I think that's the standard, Speaker. But I also want to urge chairpersons. They know Wednesday mornings is a time when we actually request for statements. Anytime, they must be in the House, especially when they have the order paper. Chairperson, the leadership is here. The leadership is here.
Honorable Owen Baya,
Yes.
you know, in this House, I mean, it's a learning process. I would like you to stand and just withdraw what you said, especially concerning that you are going to tell the chair, and then I'll make a statement. Honorable Owen Baya.
Okay, withdrawn, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you.
The response will be given in 2 weeks.
Okay, thank you very much. Honorable members, I order that the response will be given in 2 weeks by the chair of the Committee on Tourism and Wildlife. Thank you. Next is the Honorable Silvana Sosoro, Member of Parliament, South Mugirango. These are responses, and I can see the chair, administration, and internal security is in the House. Are you ready for this one? Are you ready with the response? But now I would like to know whether Osoro is not in the House.
So I've got 2 statements, Madam Speaker, to respond to.
The one, especially the one for the Honorable Silvana Sosoro, is not in the House, is in a different engagement concerning the House. You may table the response to the statement. You may now proceed to the next one, response to the Honorable Beatrice Kemei.
Yeah, so,
And Beatrice is
well
in the
guided,
House.
Madam Speaker. I will table once I'm done with the Honorable Kemei. I will table one statement from Honorable Silvana Sosoro, as you guided.
Please table the one first, and then you can proceed to the other for the purpose of order. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. In regards to the statement being sought by the Member of Parliament for Kericho County, Honorable Beatrice Kemei, who in particular did sought status of investigation into the murder of Mr. Joshua Mutai, including effort to apprehend the primary suspect. 2, the immediate measures implemented to safeguard residents of the Sogowet ward, particularly ward village elders who feel apprehensive about executing their duties. Initiative that the ministry has taken to enhance the security of local administrators across the country, and the long-term measures to support and enumerate village elders in recognition and support of their contribution to the grassroots administration. Madam Speaker, I respond as follows. Madam Speaker, on the 6th February 2024, Mr. Joshua Mutai, the now deceased, in the village elder of Kapkayo village, was sent by the Assistant Chief of the Kibeneti sublocation, Mr. David Lagat, to deliver a summons issued by the Kericho County Children's Office to Franklin Kipkoech, alias Samuel, the prime suspect in the murder. The summons pertained to a complainant of a child neglect and abuse where Mr. Franklin was alleged to have neglected and assaulted his 12-year-old son, Nilson Kipngeno Cheriot. On the following day, Mr. Franklin reported to Kericho County Children's Office that he had been arrested by police officers from the Kibeneti police post in connection with a child neglect and assault case. He was subsequently charged before the Chief Magistrate Court in Kericho on the 9th February 2024, vide CR 746, 31st 2024, CFE 344/24. However, on the 13th March, same year, the case was withdrawn under Section 204 of the Criminal Procedure Code, following a reconciliation in which Mr. Franklin sought forgiveness from both his wife, Mrs. Winnie Chepkoech, and his son. It later emerged that Mr. Franklin had been displeased with the action of the village elder, one Mr. Joshua Mutai, now the deceased, for delivering the summons to him. He reportedly held a grudge against him, although the deceased never reported any threat to his life to the police station, which could have warranted further investigation. On the 21st April, the 2025, the chief of Kabaneti location, John Kemei, reported the Sundu police station that there was a lifeless body of a male adult that had been discovered lying at Mwembe village. The police officers from Sundu police station, accompanied by the DCI crime scene investigation officers, visited the scene, where it was established that the lifeless body was that of Mr. Joshua Mutai, who had been murdered at an unknown time during the night of the 20th April 2025. The body had deep cuts at the back and left side of the head, with both legs dismembered at the ankle. The scene was processed and documented, and the body moved to the mortuary for preservation. The preliminary investigation identified Franklin Koech as the prime suspect in the murder. Police officers proceeded to his home to arrest him, but he was not found. A search of the suspect house led to the recovery of a blood-stained panga and other exhibits of evidential value, which were taken to the government chemist in Kisumu for forensic analysis. The expert report still pending. On the 22nd April 2025, the postmortem examination was conducted, and the cause of death was established to be extradural hematoma due to trauma and excessive blood loss resulting from the dismembered legs. And a team of DCI visited the scene and conducted a forensic site analysis where data collected was forwarded to the mobile service provider for call data history to assist in tracking the suspect's whereabouts. The results are still pending. The police case file number 746-80 of 2025 was open. Investigations are still ongoing, pending the arrest of the suspect. On the second question, Madam Speaker, on how the immediate measures implemented to safeguard the residents, Honorable Madam Speaker, the police have intensified both mobile and foot patrol in the key areas to beef up security and data criminal activities, and the community forums and consultative meetings are being held with the local residents. And this gathering provide platform for open dialogue, fostering peace, conflict resolution, and encouraging residents to actively participate in efforts to foster safety and security in their neighborhood. And the community policing committees are being reactivated and strengthened to promote closer collaboration between the police and the resident. Madam Speaker, the survey circulated a toll-free Fichua kwa DCI hotline 0800-722-203. Honorable Speaker, on the third question, on what initiative has the ministry has taken to enhance local administration across the country, the government has implemented several measures to enhance the security of chiefs and assistant chiefs due to increasing threats, especially from criminal gangs during conflict situation. These measures include, and so important actually, Madam Speaker, is the launch of the National Government Administration Police Unit. The officers will be accompanying the officers during their duties. So, Madam Speaker, this is a unit, a formed-up unit, which was just launched recently, which will help our Ngao officers when they're executing and performing their duties. Officers in crime-prone areas are allowed to apply for private firearms, and chiefs undergo regular training in conflict resolution and the personal security and intelligence gathering to better handling of threats in their areas. The ministry has deployed multi-agency rapid response units in hotspots, especially in areas prone to cattle rustling, banditry, or land conflicts. Chiefs are supposed through Nyumba Kumi initiative to promote community-based vigilance, which helps identify and report threats. And in security-prone regions, like part of the North Rift in the coastal counties, more security personnel has been deployed to reinforce local administration. Honorable Speaker, lastly, on the long-term measures, the village elders play an important role in the local governance, community leadership, and dispute resolution, both in rural and urban areas. They are respected members of the community and chosen for their wisdom, experience, and integrity. My ministry is currently developing the village elders policy, which will provide, among others, the remuneration of the village elders. And Madam Speaker, I can as well add, as a house, we are aware of the bill, which is before this house, which was co-sponsored by the late Malulu, still talking on the issues of the village elders so that we can able to legislate and have them recognized and remunerated. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I submit.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. I would like to give a chance to the Honorable Beatrice Kemei. Is the response satisfactory?
Okay, thank you, Madam Speaker. I appreciate the chairman for this response. However, Madam Speaker, it is not satisfactory. I'm not convinced, Madam Speaker, with this fact that there is so much delay. You know, when from February to date, that is like 5 or 6 months, investigations still going on, and there's nothing that has come forth. And Honorable Speaker, I want to also add that people or residents are still in fear because of this guy that is still out. So, Honorable Speaker, I feel something more should be done. And then, Honorable Speaker, I wish we can also ask the administration the issues of reconciliation, is okay. But looking at the fact that this car and the village elder died, it tells us that it was not in good faith. So sometimes we need to go further than that. And I still insist the residents are living in fear. And Honorable Speaker, the issues about the chiefs applying for firearms and all that to tighten the security, I appreciate. But now, what about the village elders? Because these are the people in the ground. So I feel the ministry should do more. Not the chiefs or the Ngawas is actually spoken, but we have the village elders down there. And then finally, Honorable Speaker, about the remuneration. There is no function that personally I attend and they don't ask what we've done as National Assembly, what the government is saying. So you realize that as much as the lobbying is going on, it's not given maybe the timing. You know, when we are told he's doing it or the government is doing this, but when? So I feel we need to get the timeline. Otherwise, I need to get more from the chair. When is this timeline? Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chair, clearly the response is not satisfactory to the Honorable Member for Bomet. What would you like to say? For Kericho.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. First, I want to really appreciate the frustration of the Honorable colleague member. Of course, we understand when a member of society dies under such circumstances is very troubling. But at the same time, we must appreciate the complexity of investigation. At times, it's very hard to really outrightly give the timelines. But what I want to undertake is to commit that the DCI department are going to expedite the process and make sure that the culprit is brought to books. On the issue of the village elders, I think I'd made it very clear that besides the policy from the ministry, which the minister stated very clearly, we still have a bill before this House, Madam Speaker, that all of us as a House should be able really to fast track it so that these very important members of the society, the village elders, we can have them recognized in law so that we can able to really remunerate them. And I think it's upon all of us as a House to fast track that bill, Madam Speaker.
Can we give these timelines? Can we say that in the next 1 month, so that she also, the Honorable Member has information to take back to the people who have elected her. So can we give it 1 more month?
Yeah, I will try, Madam Speaker.
In 1 month?
Yes.
In that 1 month, you will bring a report to this House regarding whether the matter has been handled. Thank you.
Well guided, Madam Speaker.
Honorable members, before we move to the next, seated in the public gallery this morning, we have students from DON, St. Philip's JSS School from Imenti North Constituency, Meru County. We have students from Mitero Silver Springs Academy, Gatundu North, Kiambu County, St. Clair Catholic School, Sigowet Soin constituency in Kericho County. And seated in the speakers gallery this morning, we have PAG Jerusalem GSS students from Chesumei, Nandi County. And I would like to give a chance to the member for Kericho County to welcome those students to the House. All students are welcome. But please proceed to welcome all of them for us from different constituencies.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to take this particular moment to welcome students who have visited this Honorable House from different parts of this country. It is very important for students to know what is going on. Honorable Speaker, when we were in school, we used to debate, and talking of Madam Speaker, but there was no Madam Speaker, it was only Mr. Speaker. I don't know why there was no Madam Speaker by then. So whatever they are doing in school, the debating club, they have come here to see in reality. So I want to ask the students to work very hard. We were also students one day. We worked hard, and that is why we are in this honorable house. I wish them well, even as they prepare for the end of the year exam in different capacities. I pray for them, and I ask them to be disciplined. And as I stand, Honorable Speaker, I also want to say, girls, to work hard and to leave early pregnancies, abortion, and anything that is related with them, with that, Honorable Speaker. And I ask the community to take care of our students. Boy child is endangered, and we pray that in school they work hard and they be protected. Honorable Speaker, once more, I welcome them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Member for Kericho County, for those kind words of welcome to our students. Now we will move to the response to the Honorable Walter Owino, Member of Parliament Awendo, and the response will be given by the Honorable Kiragu. You may proceed, Honorable Kiragu.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I have the statement that is signed by the chair of
trace the Honorable Walter Owino. Oh yeah, you're in the house. You may proceed.
Yes. Honorable Speaker, the member for Awendo, Honorable Walter Owino, MP, requested for a statement from the chairperson of the Department Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding the safety of road users along the Isebania Kisii Ahero Road, addressing the following. 1. The steps being undertaken by the Ministry of Roads and Transport to erect speed bumps along the Isebania Kisii Ahero Road, particularly from Ruerin and Awendo town centers, to regulate high-speed vehicles on the road. 2, the measures put in place to ensure the safety of road users along the said road, especially for the student, teachers, and staff who require pedestrian pathways for safe crossing. And 3, plan, if any, to upgrade the Isebania Kisii Ahero Road to a dual carriage, being a significant link to A1 road traversing various countries. Honorable Speaker, the committee received a written response from the Ministry of Roads and Transport on 14th May 2025, and now wish to make the following comment. 1, regarding the steps being undertaken by the Ministry of Roads and Transport to erect speed bumps along the Isebania Kisii Ahero Road, particularly from Ranen to Awendo town centers, to regulate high-speed vehicles on the road. The ministry submitted that there are 2 complete sets of bumps with the Rambo's strips on each approach between Ranen and Awendo towns that have been installed to regulate vehicle speeds, enhance safety, and facilitate safe pedestrian crossing. The ministry, through the Kenya National Highway Authority, KENHA, will install additional speed controls measures, including road signs, in the maintenance contract to commence in the financial year 2025-2026. 2, Madam Speaker, regarding the measures put in place to ensure the safety of road users along the said road, especially for the students, teachers, and staff who require pedestrian pathways for safe crossing. The ministry submitted that pedestrian pathways have been provided at Awendo Bridge. Currently, road markings is ongoing to demarcate the designated pedestrian crossings point clearly. 3, regarding plans to upgrade the Isebania Kisii Ahero Road to a dual carriage, the ministry submitted that considerations for dualing the road will be done when traffic surveys justify the need. The section between Kisii town and Suneka has been dualed to accommodate the high volume of traffic. Madam Speaker, I now go to summary of the payment status for the Isebania Kisii Ahero Road projects. For Lot 1, covering the Kisii to Isebania, the contractor is China Henan International Corporation Group Limited. The contract sum is for 8,597,817,890.74. And the revised contract is 14,53,834,471.12. The amount certified is 13,978,202,354.54. The amount paid is 11,186,268,715.73 cents, and the amount outstanding is 2,791,933,639. Lot 2, Madam Speaker, covering Ahero to Kisi. The contractor is the Third Engineering Bureau of China City Construction Group Company Limited. The contract sum is Kenya shillings 9,467,000,000 and 4,191 cents, and the revised contract sum is 13,883,459,815.23 cents. The amount certified is Kenya shillings 13,883,459,815.23 cents. The amount paid is Kenya shillings 12,988,328,691.10 cents, and the amount outstanding is 895,124.01 cents. Honorable Speaker, that is a statement. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kiragu, on behalf of your chairman for Transport and Infrastructure Committee. The Honorable Walter Wino, is this response satisfactory?
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity. I want to thank the committee for the response. However, I am not satisfied, Honorable Speaker, because they are talking of having erected 2 bumps on a road, Madam Speaker, of 4 kilometers. So you can imagine 4-kilometer road with 2 bumps. Those bumps are not effective. The road has continued being very dangerous. Even as late as last evening, we had accidents on the same road. So I would want to request the ministry to kindly send their officers to go on that road and assess, look at what is happening physically on the ground. The 2 bumps are not enough. Secondly, they are talking of having put the pathways at the bridge. We requested them to put pathways covering both sides of the road to help mostly students who are using the pathway on their ways to and from school. So I would request the ministry to be more sensitive on this matter, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
So I'll give a, does this concern you also, member for Kwanza? Would you like to also weigh in? Yes, please proceed.
Madam Speaker, I just want to agree with my colleague. I think let's pass a resolution in this House that this ministry and, of course, the Department of Roads regularly checks on the roads. You'll find the roads actually when you are driving is so unsafe, even where you're going, Madam Speaker. So therefore, I think I want to agree with my colleague that the Ministry of Roads actually be able to go regularly and check on some of the roads. In fact, my place, you'll find that the bridge is broken, there's no marking, and so it becomes very dangerous for even those who have not used that particular road. You'll find yourself landing into a ditch or a bridge. So I think this, as a House, have time to tell these people, even if it means give them deadlines, so they can regularly check on the roads. Some of these people are just sitting in the offices doing nothing, but actually earning the salaries, taxpayers' money. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Kiragu.
Madam Speaker, I seriously take the comments given by my very good friends. And Madam Speaker, on matter of bumps, it is true that they help on matters of safety, But, Madam Speaker, it's also good to know that bombs also have been known actually to cause accident, particularly to some people when they are not properly marked. So I take your statement seriously. We'll make sure that the ministry or the department concerned will undertake a revised safety evaluation of the sections that have been mentioned so that we provide safe ways of transport between those areas, and particularly those areas where the students have to cross. I thank you.
So I would like to encourage further engagement with the committee so that you're able to invite the Honorable Walter Owino, member for Awendo, especially on the day that you are dealing with the Director General. This is Kenha, right? Honorable Kiragu, is this a Kena or a Kera Road?
It is a Kenha.
Yeah.
And Madam Speaker, I would suggest that, in fact, my good friend, it would be good also for the committee to be traveling to those areas so that we also get to acquaint ourselves to these real problems that our people are facing, particularly on the matter of safety, Madam Speaker.
Yeah, so that we close this subject, I would like to ask you, as a representative of the chair, to do a further engagement with the DG Kenha concerning this particular road, Isbania Kisi Ahero, bearing in mind that there are so many accidents as it has been reported by the Honorable Member. Anything out of order, Honorable Dorothy Kiara? What is out of order?
Speaker, I just wanted to say this is a very important matter of national importance, Honorable Speaker, and the matter of safety on our roads should be taken very, very seriously. Honorable Speaker, we have continued to lose life, especially along the highways.
Honorable Dorothy. What you're saying is important. Unfortunately, the way we transact business is that we had already closed. But I hope you'll get another opportunity in the future to engage on the safety of roads. Thank you. Or also you may take an opportunity also to present on a road which is of concern to you. Thank you very much. Next order.
Order number 8, motion, implementation of the universal health coverage and of a policy on mandatory use of public health care facilities by public officers. Resumption of debate.
Thank you. It's good that to see the Honorable Sabina Chege is in the House. On this motion, the Honorable Janet Sitene had a balance of 8 minutes. Since she is not in the House, now the debate is open for any other member who may want to contribute on this matter. So, honorable members, I see that there are several people on the screen. Those who are interested on the matter of this motion on UHC, you may hit the intervention button. I just called the Honorable Dr. Makali Molu, member for Kitui Central, not on this subject. The Honorable Charles Ngusia Nguna, member for Mwingi West, CNN, not on this matter. And the Honorable Dorothy Kiara, nominated member, is it on this matter of UHC?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to weigh in this very important motion by my sister, Honorable Sabina Chege. Honorable Speaker, when we talk about health coverage, and more so universal health coverage in this country, we have very pertinent questions, Honorable Speaker, that we should be asking ourselves. What comes into my mind, Honorable Speaker, it is where did we go wrong as a country? This motion is tracking us back to the years back to the 60s, 70s, 80s, when we never used to have the many hospitals that we have today, which are private in the name. And Honorable Speaker, it is important to note that during the 70s, we used to have government-maintained run hospitals, which were doing very well. And Honorable Speaker, as we went down the lane and thinking that we are becoming more advanced, we started ruining these institutions ourselves as leaders, Honorable Speaker, such that we withdrew slowly by slowly those that felt we were a little bit endowed and started visiting private entities. And because of that, Honorable Speaker, the public institutions were left at the mercy of no one. Honorable Speaker, the question that we must be asking ourselves today, we as leaders, and I want to strongly say it is good that Honorable Sabina Chege is proposing mandatory usage of government institutions. But for real, the first steps that we must undertake, it should start from us. We should have a strong undertaking that what is it that we can do so that we make these institutions the most favorable institutions and destination of choice for all of us when we are sick. Honorable Speaker, it is very pathetic that today, if you go to most of the public institutions, you'll find queues running there, you'll find people in hospitals, but you realize that they are not getting the services that they deserve. Honorable Speaker, it is up to us as leaders today to make very deliberate moves to ensure that these public institutions that we are talking about, one, they are properly maintained. And I want to bet and say most of the public institutions have the best doctors. But doctors in hospitals where they don't have the necessary equipment, machines to treat their patients. And all of us know you cannot go to an institution where you know you'll not get the intended services. So, Honorable Speaker, I want to challenge us as leaders. Let us now brace ourselves, sit down, and become very intentional in how we want these public institutions to be run. And I want to go on record, Honorable Speaker. Today, as I'm talking here, I want to say these public institutions are improving tremendously. Like me, if I get sick today, I go to Meru General Hospital. Meru General Hospital today is a public institution which is being run very professionally. It has the best doctors. There is no equipment that you go there and lack. And this is what will draw us, all of us, to use these public institutions. Honorable Speaker, we also must ask ourselves as legislators, do we have these public institutions across the country? Do we have level 5 hospitals in all our counties? Do we have properly maintained level 4 hospitals in all our sub-counties? Are they properly equipped, Honorable Speaker? Are the doctors in those hospitals well motivated so that when we go there, we will meet a very motivated workforce? Honorable Speaker, if we can be able to gather or gun all this, I don't see the reason why we should not be attracted to those institutions, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, as I support this motion, I want to say, let it not be a motion. Let us make this a reality. If we as public servants, and more so we, the people's representatives, start using public hospitals, Honorable Speaker, what we use as leaders, the citizens will believe it is the best. So we must be very deliberate, make the first move of ensuring that these institutions are attractive, these institutions have the best professions, these institutions can provide, they can be able to provide us with the treatment that we require. And Honorable Speaker, if people in my village know I use the Meru General Hospital for my treatment, and that is where I take even my children, there is no reason why the public will not be able to go there also. So, Honorable Speaker, I want to say I support the motion, and I want us to move from it being a motion and make it a reality. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Rueda Obo, member for Lamu East.
Asante Bispika. Nami nichukue nafasi hii nimpongeze Mheshimiwa Sabina Tiege kwa kuleta mswada huu. Kwa hakika ni jambo la maana sana. Na ni kama kutuamsha. Lilikuwa lifanywe kitambo zaidi. Lakini sasa ni kama kutuamsha. Naomba inshallah hawa implementation committee ifuatilie jambo hili na liwe lenye kufanyika. Kusema la ukweli, rais wetu mpendwa ana nia mzuri na nchi. Na hili jambo la insurance ni jambo zuri. Kila Mkenya akipata hii insurance sisi tutakuwa na utajiri. Manake sana michango ilikuwa inatuumiza. Sasa yeye amepanga mipangilio, sio kwamba wale walioko makazini peke yake ndio wanapata hii huduma. Hata wale ya mama mboga, hata watu wa bodaboda ambao hawajaandikwa kazi wanaweza kuwa kupata hii insurance, bora tu wajiandikishe. Na ni vizuri tuangalie mbele ili hili jambo lifanikiwe. Baadaye sisi kuna maisha baada ya siasa. Hatutakuwa hapa bunge siku zote, lakini tutakuwa tumeweka miundo misingi ya vizazi vijazo. Hizi sasa ni kufanyia bidii, sio kulipinga. Kufanyia bidii vipi? Kama huu mswada umekuja na Mheshimiwa Sabina, itaboresha. Na tusianze kusema, tunasema tuanze na action sisi wenyewe hata kabla huu mswada kumalizwa au implementation committee kufanya chochote. Sisi wenyewe kama wabunge tutoe mfano. Kama mtu amekuwa mgonjwa, tuanze kwenda. Ndio zile hospitali zitaboreshwa. Kwa mfano mimi nikiwa mgonjwa nende King Fahad Hospital pale Lamu au nende Faza Hospital. Mimi nishawahi kwenda Faza Hospital. Na kusema kweli mambo yanafanyika. Ni kuboreshwa sasa yawe vizuri zaidi. Nimekuwa na mzigo mkubwa pale Coast General Hospital. Coast General Hospital recently mimi hii last wiki iliyopita nimekuwa na wagonjwa wawili ICU. Na nimehakikisha, nimethibitisha mimi mwenyewe inalipwa kila kitu. SHA imelipa kila kitu. Sasa vile anasema Mheshimiwa Sabina, kama kuna pahali serikali inaweka mkono wako wewe ndio upate hii insurance, basi mwanzo uende kwa hospitali za public, za serikali hizi. So kuna haja ya kuboresha pia, kuhimiza watu wote waende kule. Kwa mfano, kuna wakati mwanzo huu mswada utatusaidia sisi sana watu wa Lamu. Kivipi? Kuna wakati kuna mtoto wa mtu fulani anajulikana sana Kenya. Alikuja Lamu kujivinjari, akaenda kule Shela. Kule Shela kwa bahati mbaya akaanguka. Alipoanguka akabidi apelekwe hospitali ya King Fahad. Wakati huo ilikuwa haina oxygen. Ilibidi watafute njia za usiku kuja kumchukua yule mgonjwa. Na pahali kama Lamu ikifika saa 12 hakuna usafiri wa aina yoyote. Ndege jua likikuchwa haina ruhusa kuland pale, kutua pale Manda Airport. Barabara kuna curfew, huwezi enda. So Lamu imefungwa baada ya saa 12, hakuna njia yote ya kutoka Lamu na kuingia Lamu. Sasa ikiwa na mambo kama hayo, kitokea na dharura, tuseme emergency, huwa ni shida. Kama hiyo ilitokea, ilibidi tungangane kupata clearances, abebwe, ikachelewa na ndio alifariki. Na mengi yametokea kama hivyo. Ilikuwa sisi paka tuende Kilifi au Coast General. Lakini kwa sasa kwa mipangilio hii iliyoko, mambo yameanza kuboreshwa. Pale King Fahad pia ni shukuru gavana wetu na serikali kuu wameshirikiana, sasa kuna oxygen plant. Na sasa yataka isonge kule Faza pia, kwa sababu zile shida zetu, changamoto zetu za kitofauti pale kwa sababu ya visiwa, kwa pia King Fahad nao ipate oxygen plant, ifike paka Kiunga, kwa sababu hakuna sababu ya kukosa kufanya hayo. Kwa sababu ya nini?
Mheshimiwa Ruweida, wajua kwa hili bunge linakutegemea sana kwa lugha ya Kiswahili. Sasa hii oxygen plant ningependa uliseme kwa Kiswahili. Nimekusikia pia ukisema hospitali ya public, angalau hiyo najua ni ya umma. Kwa hivyo mimi ningependa uzungumze lugha ya Kiswahili sanifu, kwa sababu tunakutegemea. Endelea na mswada wako. Endelea na kuzungumza.
Asante.
Kuna dakika chache zimebaki, lakini usituchanganye na Kizungu.
Kiswahili kina ile inasema kama kitu hakuna kwa Kiswahili, oxygen tunaweza kusema oxygen. Unaweza kugeuza hivyo. Kiwanda cha oxygen naweza kusema hivyo. Lakini alikuwa nataka nafanya Google awe rafiki yangu, lakini bahati mbaya sina time sahihi na hakuna mtu wangu karibu hapa akaniangalilia. Sasa hospitali hizi za zetu tulizonazo za umma, kama nimesema, sahihi SHA inatoa pesa, inaenda kwa zile hospitali, haiendi kwa hospitali ile ya county, inaenda kila hospitali, zahanati zozote zilioko inaenda. Sasa kama kwa mfano pale kwangu Kiunga, kwa mara ya kwanza SHA imepeleka milioni 4. Wakati wote ilikuwa hizo nyuma county ikipeleka 250,000. Sasa 250,000 ilikuwa haikidhi mahitaji. Lakini sasa wamepata milioni 4, ni wajitahidi wanunue vitu, hospitali iboreshwe, na ndio tuweke hizi sheria ngumu ya kusema mtu yoyote wa county, sisi yoyote anaolipwa na pesa ya serikali asiende hospitali za kibinafsi, uende hospitali zile. Na tukiweka hizi hospitali kwa haraka zitakuwa mzuri. Manake ukiangalia mtu wa Kiunga aambiwe lazima aende hospitali ya Kiunga. Sasa yule daktari mwenyewe pia yake wa mgonjwa atataka kuwa pale. Hao ward administrators wale wanaofanya kazi pale, mahospidi manini, wote wakue pale. Kila mtu atakuwa kwa upande wake, atahakikisha ile hospitali imekuwa mzuri. Hospitali zitaboreka kwa haraka. Mimi naunga sana huu mswada mkono, na tutataka hizi hospitali zetu ziwe mzuri, na tuanze sisi kwenda, ndio watu wataona haya mambo sio kusema tu, ni kusema na kutenda. Na hii itabadilisha Kenya. Rais wetu yale nia yake nzuri itawezekana. Kusema ukweli, Bi Speaker, yani sisi hii SHA ndio sasa tunaona kweli mambo yanafanyika. Yani hospitali ya ndani hivyo kama Kiunga ipate milioni 4 kwa mara ya kwanza ilikuwa ni history. Na history zimekuwa nyingi, Bi Speaker. Barabara sasa hizi zimefanywa kwetu na rais wetu huyu. Mimi leo nimeingia nikidunda hivi. Nikidunda mwenyewe nikidunda. Leo najiona Mkenya. Kwangu nimepata barabara ya kwanza inchi ya kwanza ya tarmac. Nashukuru. Rais huyu kazi anatutendea. Na sisi tumsupport, tufanye kazi vizuri. Tuende hospitali ya umma.
Honorable Ruweida.
Thank you.
We have schools. We have several schools, honorable members, you may have noticed, and I would not want them to leave before we recognize them. We have in the speakers gallery this morning Gashada Secondary School from Kirinyaga East constituency in Kirinyaga County. Let's welcome them our usual way. Cheryl Belek Secondary from Sotik constituency in Bomet County. Kairi St. Mary's School from Gatundu North in Kiambu County. And seated in the public gallery this morning, we have Ekuone Junior School, Mwingi Central Constituency in Kitui County. You are all welcome to the National Assembly to continue observing proceedings of the House. Thank you. You have 2 minutes. You have actually 1 minute and 12 seconds, Honorable Rueda.
Asante. Ndio nimalizie, tunasema hospitali zetu, zahanati zetu ziboreshwe. Kila hospitali, hata ile wanaita kiwango cha namba 3, cha namba 4, zote ziwekwe hizi viwanda vya oksijeni. Kila pahali ikitokea dharura iwe mtu atasaidika na watu wawe na moyo zaidi ya kwenda zile hospitali. Na madaktari wote wawe pale. Kama sisi Lamu Mashariki, hospitali yetu ya karibu ambao ni inaitwa level 6 ni hapa Kenyatta Hospital. Hii SHA ikifanya hivi itatusaidia sisi zaidi, tutasaidika. Manake hapa angalau kuna hospitali 6 za level 6 ambapo ziko kwa maeneo karibu huku. Lakini sisi ndio tunajua umuhimu wa SHA tukiwa mbali. Tukiwa mbali hospitali zetu zikiwekwa vifaa vizuri, huduma nzuri, tutafaidika zaidi. Hatuna haja kufanya safari kutoka Kiunga uje paka Kenyatta Hospital, ndio karibu yetu. Region yote ya Pwani, hospitali ni sisi tunaenda kama referral, tunaenda Coast General.
Thank you, Honorable Kagogo. Member for Marakwet East.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Speaker. And Madam Speaker, allow me to congratulate my colleague, the Honorable Sabina Cheke, for this motion, very important motion. And being a motion also, Honorable Speaker, this is also a constitutional matter under Article 43(1) of our Constitution, Honorable Speaker, that provides that every person has a right to the highest attainable standard of health, which includes the right to health care services. And Honorable Speaker, even as we debate this motion and probably we approve, Honorable Speaker, there is need also to go further and amend the laws, the health laws, so that to make sure we operationalize this motion. Madam Speaker, if you check our public hospitals, the Kenyatta National Hospital, which was built many years ago by the government of Kenya, using millions of money, Kenyatta National Hospital, Madam Speaker, up to today as we speak.
Honorable members, time for this motion has come to the end, and I give you 1 minute to conclude.
No, maybe 2 minutes, Madam Speaker, because I had planned my for more than 2. So I was saying, Madam Speaker.
And for those who have, I can see several cards. If the chair feels magnanimous, she can also share her 10 minutes for reply to several of you.
I will ask her to give me.
Honorable Kagogo, you have 1 minute to conclude.
Yes. So it will, the 1 minute or 2 minutes will come after me, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I was saying, Kenyatta National Hospital, which was built in Kenya for the first time, if you check, they have not even opened even a branch outside, even Nairobi or anywhere. But a hospital like the private hospital like Nairobi, the Aga Khan, which came up later, Madam Speaker, they have branches almost everywhere across the country, and actually because of public resources. Because including the members of parliament here, Madam Speaker, even our medical scheme, many members, and or even no member, can go to Kenyatta National Hospital using the parliamentary service medical card we are given. Because one, we need to improve the facilities in our public hospitals. Number two, Madam Speaker, the doctors you will find in Nairobi Hospital, in Aga Khan Hospital, in Nairobi West Hospital, and all other public, private hospitals, Madam Speaker, they are the same public doctors you will find in Kenyatta National Hospital.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Kagogo, and also our chair for water and blue economy. Now I'll give a chance to the Honorable Sabina Chege, a mover of this motion, to reply. You may proceed, Honorable Sabina Chege.
Madam Speaker, allow me to, before I finish, I donate Honorable Emas had shown some interest, and Honorable Mulanya and Honorable Jaras. 1 minute each, and then Madam Speaker, I can conclude. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Sabina, and I really want to appreciate you for bringing forth this motion. Honorable Speaker, there is need to increase the quality of care and services as proposed in the motion. And I just want to touch on 2 areas. It is not about the infrastructure, because most of the public institutions have the infrastructure. What we are lacking the most, one is staff. Enough doctors and nurses to offer the services. And 2, we are lacking medication in these hospitals. Honorable Speaker, Kenyans have embraced SHA. Progressively, many Kenyans are registering. But I expect when a person goes to the local dispensary, like Lukolis Hospital in my constituency or Alupe, they should be able to get the basic care and medication. But you'll find that there is even no painkiller. So we need it to improve, and we must start by...
Thank you, Honorable Mary Emase. The Honorable Mulanya.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, allow me to congratulate Honorable Sabina Chege for bringing this particular motion. And of concern on my end is that, yes, we have a policy whereby we have allowed civil servants and public officers to be treated using the insurance schemes they have in private hospitals. But what we don't know is that you go to Kenyatta Hospital, the best doctors are employed by the government. These best doctors are practicing at Nairobi Hospital. So these public officers now end up being to Nairobi Hospital by the public, by doctors employed by the public office from Kenyatta Hospital. So we end up sending money to private entities at the expense of government entities. Madam Speaker, allow me to congratulate Honorable Sabina Chege. I support this motion to have a mandatory use.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Jalango, aka Jalas.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. And on onset, let me thank Madam Honorable Sabina Chege for this motion. You cannot fight for something fully when you don't get benefits from it. And for us to now start allocating more money to our public institutions like the hospitals, we as leaders must start using the public hospitals. For example, Kenyatta National Hospital here provides some of the best services. But if you have a chance to use your insurance to a private hospital, you will always go to that private hospital. Let it be mandatory that public servants use public hospitals, and even insurance companies that provide our covers must also be told not to cover leaders if it is for private hospital. If you want to go for private treatment, use your own money. If you want to use your the government cover, go and use the public hospital. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Technically, I see your hand is up. What is out of order? Nothing is out of order, Mheshimiwa? I would like to hear him. Please give him the mic.
There's nothing out of order.
Honorable Dr. Guyo Jaldesa. Yes. What is out of order?
It's not out of order. What I just wanted to make a small contribution to the debate.
Yeah. You may get seated. I know you are a gynecologist. Actually, you would have done very well in addressing this matter. But those who are speaking now are those who have been lucky to have a minute donated by the mover. So you are not going to contribute on this one. You'll get another opportunity at a later time. Honorable Sabina, you may conclude.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. First and foremost, Madam Speaker, I want to thank all my colleagues, honorable members of this House, for supporting this motion. As I said, Madam Speaker, having been a former chair of health, my own personal experience, I've had a father who has been sick for a very long time, so I've had access to both private and public institutions. Madam Speaker, I just want to urge members of this House that we have very good and qualified doctors in our public institutions. Madam Speaker, what we need is to finance enough these public institutions. Let them know that any minute, a member of parliament, a police officer, a senior teacher, might be head of public service, can walk into these hospitals so that, Madam Speaker, we will have these hospitals well prepared. The amount of money we have from our insurance that is covered by the government and that is by the taxpayers' money, it is enough. As we even said that the government needs to add more money, we might not even need to add more money, Madam Speaker, because from our insurance cover, that money can be plowed back. We'll have enough doctors. We will have enough staff members, nurses. We'll have clean facilities, Madam Speaker. And as one of the members said, Madam Speaker, about UHC, it's just about affordability. We're already giving money through SHA. It's about affordability and also accessibility. Madam Speaker, sometimes even when we said we have devolved health, you'll find that our people go, they're paid for SHA, you're told there is no medication, so you have to go and buy in a pharmacy. And you'll find that it's kind of a cartel, Madam Speaker, that even the public, some of the equipment in our public facilities where we are saying, yes, we may need more equipment, but they might be working, but they are sabotaged so that you can be sent to a nearest private facility to go for a CT scan, to go for an X-ray. And it is sad, Madam Speaker, and I would, because I've seen Honorable Nyikal here, I have two requests. One, I would like your committee to investigate on the amount of money that is being paid out by SHA. What is being paid to the public facilities, and I know we already have around 42% of our public facilities, and what is going to a private facility. Why would we pay around 100 million to a private, very small private hospital that is giving cancer treatment, and compared to what we are paying the entire Kenyatta University referral, Moi Teaching referral, Kisii Level 5, even the Jaramogi Oginga, or the amount of money we are paying to Kenyatta National Hospital? Why would a small facility that only offer one service, and it's publicly known in Kenya, be paid millions of shillings from SHA? Honorable Nyikal, and allow me, Madam Speaker, through the Speaker, to address you. Last night, as a mother, I was very disturbed by a case I saw from Machakos, and I wish and I hope the women rep Machakos and the leaders from Machakos can follow that matter. And Honorable Nyikal, with your committee, kindly help that mother whose child was operated in a facility in Machakos. First, she was forced to pay 5,000. I watched 9 p.m. news yesterday, around 9:35 p.m. You can go back to your YouTube and see. And then this child, the mother was forced to pay 5,000 shillings. Then the doctor messed up with the child. The child needed emergency, so she even borrowed 50,000 to get an ambulance. And the ambulance, when they were leaving the hospital, they were meant to be taken for referral in Kenyatta Hospital. But then the mother ended up in a facility, small facility in Isili, where this baby has been held. And the mother, till now, cannot be able to access to see the condition of her child, who is in ICU, because she has been asked to pay 3 million Kenyan shilling. I saw that lady crying. Where can she get 3 million? Her child is being held in a funny facility in Isili. Why, Honorable Nyikal? Why would we have our citizens suffering when you have been forced to go and use a private facility because they need money? And investigate also. Sometimes you'll go, some of the services that are offered when you're going with an insurance or with this SHA, if SHA is paying, you are told you can pay, the service is 28,000. But when you are paying cash, you are told you can pay 14,000. What is this? We need to investigate. And the only solution, let us make sure that we equip our public facilities. Let us make sure we have enough doctors, enough medicines, we have enough supporting staff, so that, honorable members, you can easily walk into Kenyatta National Hospital. We even have a private wing. And I want to say, maybe for us to start by leading by example, because we are urging the ministry to quickly form a policy on this. And sometimes policy can take as long as somebody wants. It can be formed within 1 month, 6 months, or somebody can decide to sit on this forever. And I hope the Committee on Implementation can follow up on this. So, might be members of this House, for your yearly health checkup, I would want to urge you, go to Kenyatta University Teaching Referral. It has a state-of-art facility. We don't have any in Kenya, in East Africa, in Africa, such facility. Not even any private facility that we have around. Go for your medical checkup there. They even have a presidential suite. Go and see. Start referring your people there. Let us use Kenyatta. I challenged the management of Kenyatta National Hospital the last time I took my father there. Because we cannot have a level 6 hospital using water basins to give patients. When you get admitted, you are given a water basin with tissue inside. At what age is this? Having, Madam Speaker, bathtubs in a hospital, you know, and because you can just see people who just want to do supplies, because the bathtub would be more expensive than a normal shower. Madam Speaker, we need to be serious about our health care. And because health is a right in this Republic of Kenya, it is in our Constitution. Thank you, honorable members, for the support you have given me. I know with this, we will have more better services being given in this, in our public facilities. Our doctors will be smiling. They will not go for strike because we'll have enough money to pay them from our insurances. Our nurses will be happy. Our support staff will have clean facilities. And I thank you once again for the support. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Sabina Chege. Next order.
Order number 9, motion, formulation of a land use policy on zoning of land for agriculture and built development.
The Honorable Timothy Wanyonyi, Member of Parliament. I can see that the Honorable Wanyonyi is not in the House, so that matter is deferred to a time when it will be next scheduled by the House Business Committee. Next order.
Order number 10, the Breastfeeding Mothers Bill, National Assembly Bill number 8 of 2024, second reading.
Honorable Sabina Chege, you may proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to move the Breastfeeding Mothers Bill 2024, the National Assembly.
Honorable Sabina, to disturb you before you finish moving the motion. Honorable members, I would like to recognize students. Seated in the public gallery this morning, honorable members, we have students from Emali, Sunshine Academy, Kajiado East constituency in Kajiado County, Mutini School from Boone constituency in Makueni County, Kidadhani School, Makueni constituency in Makueni County, St. Mary's Kibabii Boys from Kandui constituency in Bungoma County. And also seated in the speakers gallery this morning, we have students from Makuyu School, Murang'a South constituency, Murang'a County, and Bavuni Secondary School from Bahati constituency in Nakuru County. I would like to request the Honorable Sabina Chege to welcome the students, and then as you continue, the school from Murang'a is called Makuyu School. So you may welcome them for us, and then you proceed to move the motion.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity. I wish to welcome all the schools that are present in the House today. And I'm privileged, Madam Speaker, to welcome a school from my own, Makuyu. Karibuni sana. I am so happy to see them here. And I just want to encourage all the students that, yes, we are here today. We were one at your age and at school, so you can easily find yourself here. And we wish you all the best as you study. We wish you the best, and we welcome you once again into this House. Madam Speaker, allow me now to rise to move the Breastfeeding Mothers Bill 2024, a National Assembly Bill number 8 of 2024. And Madam Speaker, the principal object of this bill is to provide a legal framework on mothers who may wish to breastfeed their children at workplace. Madam Speaker, the bill provides for the right of a mother to breastfeed freely or express milk for her infant. And the bill further requires employers to provide breastfeeding employees with lactation rooms to either breastfeed or express their milk for their children. Madam Speaker, breastfeeding is the first preventive health measure that can be given to a child at birth, and it also enhances mother-infant relationship. It is nature's first immunization, enabling the infant to fight potential serious infection, and it contains growth factors that enhance the maturation of an infant organ system. And Madam Speaker, this also contributes to the whole being. Kenya is a signatory to treaties that provide for the right of an infant to exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months. The government should therefore promote and encourage breastfeeding and provide the specific measures that would present opportunities for working mothers to continue expressing their milk and breastfeeding their infant or young children. Furthermore, the practice of breastfeeding may save the country's valuable foreign exchange that may otherwise be used for milk importation. Presently, Madam Speaker, female employees exit the workforce or stop breastfeeding in order to secure their job security, which is very unfair. No woman should be forced to compromise the health of her child in order to make a living. We know, Madam Speaker, our maternity leave currently, maybe this is something that we need to look at the labor laws, allows only a maternity leave for 3 months and a paternity leave for a month. Madam Speaker, the recommendation for exclusive breastfeeding where a child should not be given anything, including water, for 6 months, then he does a mother who needs to report to work after 3 months. So that means the option that is required is for this mother, Madam Speaker, either to start giving the other milk, which I don't want to call the names. We have categories of various imported milk that we have in this country, or you have to breastfeed, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to give my personal experience because I got my baby 10 years ago when I was still serving in this house. And it was torture for me when I came back, Madam Speaker, to look for a place to express my milk because I'm one mother who believes in breastfeeding a child for 2 years, not 6 months. And so after my 3 months, Madam Speaker, I had to look for a place where I'll be expressing my milk. And I will tell you, it's a shame, Madam Speaker, that in this house, even now as I speak, the only crochet that we have, it is very far, somewhere near Red Cross, for the people who know where Red Cross is. And it's not really an environment that you feel comfortable. So I ended up going and chasing my driver in the car to sit down and express my milk. And I had to get a very special bag to be able to carry that milk home so that the milk doesn't spoil, for the child to take the milk when I'm away. So, Madam Speaker, in this bill, Part 1, Clause 1 and 2 of the bill provides the preliminary matters, including the title of the bill and implementation terms used in the proposed act. And in Part 2, we have Clause 3 to 10, where the bill provides for the fundamental principles and rights at work. For a breastfeeding mother, it provides for the right to freely breastfeed or express one's milk for the baby. It also places an obligation on employers to provide breastfeeding working mothers with rooms to either breastfeed or express their milk. It also provides for standards of such rooms. Madam Speaker, if you go to our airports, and this happens, I don't know whether it's only in Africa, because when you travel, and I know you have traveled, you go to the airports, you go to Dubai, you go to the major airports that you know, Heathrow and the rest, you find that there are very specific rooms for mothers to breastfeed or even change their children. But come home, the only place you find like a small table, it is in the toilet, Madam Speaker. And we know those young ones, they pick infections very fast. So we are saying move the breastfeeding mothers, move the mothers who have these children, the small babies, from toilets to a room in any building that can just be a clean one, provide a comfortable seat. It's not expensive, Madam Speaker, just a room. We have very many high-rises in this country. So even in this house, Madam Speaker, just near here, where a mother doesn't need to miss a bill or to come to the house, around here where we have the offices of the leadership here, we can get one room, Madam Speaker, where you can get a seat, where we can get a small fridge. I can put my milk there, and when I'm going home, I pick it up, and I label it very well, Madam Speaker. So the bill further provides for baby changing tables. This is important because the greater majority that is public find it unsanitary to change a baby in public setting, such as restaurants, Madam Speaker. We have seen women being chased in restaurants because they are told they are showing their breasts when they are breastfeeding their children. Madam Speaker, I want to congratulate the government, especially on the new markets that they are doing, that these new markets now have a place so that Ule Mama Mboga, the mother who has carried the child to go and sell nyanya, tomatoes, to go and sell mboga, that she can be able to have a very nice and decent place to change even a nappy of her child. So we're not just talking about working mothers, but even the ones who are working in informal sectors, that even in our marketplaces, we can have those rooms specifically for those mothers. They can change. Maybe a child can take a nap, or Madam Speaker, they can also be able to breastfeed in privacy and in decency, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, this provision will also cater for persons who are traveling from long distances in the accompaniment of babies, ensuring that in each public restroom, a baby changing facility is provided. This part also provides for a general offense under this act. So whether we are having bus stations, we have long distances buses. So where we have bus stations, we have a specific room, not inside the restroom, Madam Speaker, but at the side where these mothers can change and breastfeed their babies. Part 3 of the bill, we have clause 11 to 12 that provides for power of the Cabinet Secretary to make regulations for the better carrying out of this proposed act, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, as I ask Honorable Wanyonyi to second, because I want he for she, the men who stand for women. And we want to appreciate, Madam Speaker, that bringing a life, having a child, is very important. Many women are opting not to have children. We need to have our babies. So the ones who choose, and especially the young girls, in this house, I understand we didn't have a breastfeeding place because then the ladies who were appointed or nominated or came to Parliament were past their childbearing age. But now, Madam Speaker, we have honorable members who are less than 30 years. Some are getting married when they're in this house. So they will not stop giving birth because now they are members of Parliament. They are human beings. They need to have their children, and we don't need to limit any one of them. Let us lead by example from this house to any public facility.
Order, Honorable Sabina Chege. Honorable Charles Ngusi Anguna, member for Mwingi West, what is out of order? What specifically is out of order?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. There's nothing out of order. I'm just enjoying the way the motherly character of Sabina Chege is trying to express this motion with a lot of emotions, and also I fully support it, but I am looking forward to contributing it because I'm a new father in town.
I'll take that to be part of canter and banter for the House and allow the Honorable Sabina Chege to proceed.
Allow me to congratulate Honorable Member for being a new father in town. Well done. And Madam Speaker, I also want to speak to our girls and tell them breastfeeding is fashionable. Let us know that the girls think that when they give birth, they want to give the formula milk to their babies and not to breastfeed. Breastfeeding, the breast milk is the only nutritious 100% that has all the nutrients that a child needs, including the growth of a brain of a child. And I am very sure Honorable Dr. Nikal will speak about the importance of that 6 months exclusive breastfeeding. So to our girls in Kenya, don't be lied to anyone that when you don't breastfeed, those breasts will not fall down one day. It comes with age. So breastfeed is better for the breast to fall for a reason, instead of you saying you want to deny your child that natural immunization, those natural nutrients that are needed there. And I strongly believe that no woman should be forced to compromise the health of her child in order to make a living. Because a lot of institutions, and we want to give a warning, they will say when you get employed, when you get pregnant, go home. Or when you have to report at this time, I urge the employees, the employers also, Madam Speaker, to have reasonable working time for the breastfeeding mothers. You have been a mother like me. You know when your breasts are full of milk, you cannot concentrate. So when especially that milk is full and starts coming out, it becomes very uncomfortable for a mother. So for the employers, let the breastfeeding mother come, might be slightly late, might be at 10, let them leave early. it is just a matter of 6 months. And because there is 3 months for the leave, maternity leave, so it might be 3 months only. But that mother is going to be more productive. She's going to be more happy. The child is going to be more healthier. And so, as I conclude, I wish to state that I believe that this bill, when enacted into law, will go a long way in protecting the right of breastfeeding mothers and preserve their dignity at work and in public places. It will ensure that the women are not discriminated from employment based on childbirth and the conditions that they come with it. Madam Speaker, I want to thank the committee that handled this matter on the social protection. Honorable members, you can have a copy of a report that the Committee on Social Protection considered this bill. We went through a lot. I want to also congratulate many institutions that came in to give their views. Madam Speaker, there were many of them. I'm trying to see whether I can be able to get them. We have the Kenya Association of Breastfeeding, Kenya Bankers Association, DONA International. We have Kenya Demographic and Health Survey, Kenya Private Sector Alliance. We had even Uhuru Community Development Project that came in, Lactation Education Consultants, the University of Nairobi, and we had many, many, many other people, even individuals who came in. I was trying to look for a name of a lady who came in. She was somebody Kimani. So I just want to mention all of them and just say thank you for coming to contribute. If any further amendment is required, we are ready to do that. But Madam Speaker, I now want to call upon Honorable, as I urge the House and the members to support this bill. By the way, it is the third time, Madam Speaker, this bill has come. I don't know who normally kills it. It has been passed in this House 2 times, first Parliament, then second Parliament, the 11th Parliament, 12th Parliament, Madam Speaker, but somehow it was killed somewhere, I think in the Senate. I now thank God that it is being dealt now in this House. And so I hope, Madam Speaker, that once we pass it, it will become into law. And the mothers of this country will forever be grateful. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I call upon Honorable Anyoni to second the bill, he for she. Thank you.
Please proceed, Member for Kwanza, Ferdinand Wanyonyi.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to actually second this motion by dear lady.
What is out of order, Honorable Member for Westlands?
Madam
The
Speaker.
Honorable Tim.
Madam Speaker, I wanted...
The Honorable Tim Wanyonyi. What's out of
Madam
order?
Speaker, I thought the Honorable Sabina Chege meant me, not Ferdinand, to second the motion because she just said Wanyonyi and I saw Ferdinand shooting up. I thought it was me.
You know, you are Honorable Ferdinand Wanyonyi Wetangula.
Team.
It's Honorable Tim Wanyonyi. And I'll add Wetangula.
No.
But the Honorable Sabina Chege was very clear. He said the Honorable Ferdinand Wanyonyi.
Yes.
But I am going to give you the opportunity, the first opportunity, purposively, and also on the request of the mover. You may proceed, the Honorable Member for Kwanza.
I hope I've not taken over your chance. I think we'll be able to be given a chance to talk. I think what I want to do is to second the motion by Honorable Chege. And I want to say the objective of this is that the private, I think I've just listened to what he has said. And the legal framework of this is that I think the mothers, and we all know that, some of them actually are children who are born when they are working. And the objective of this is that the children should actually be given a chance to be fed by their mothers. And therefore, I think you are very right to have come up with this motion, because then, of course, breastfeeding of the children is very important. We all know I'm a parent, and I think now I'm almost a grandfather. And I'm telling you now, if you don't know that, I'm telling you, I'm almost a grandfather. And the whole idea is that the employers normally are very particular, and maybe this particular mother is doing a very important job in the organization. But then, of course, now that she has got a child, it's only fair that actually is given the chance to be able to feed the children or the child. Maybe some of them are twins, or if you've got 3 children, and therefore be given the chance to be able to feed the child. Because again, note that Kenya, I think, if I'm not wrong, is a signatory to this particular treatment, this particular treaty, to provide for the right of the infant to be exclusively be fed by the mother for at least, I think it's 6 months. For 6 months, the child has all the right, exclusive right, by whatever international agreement, that the child for 6 months should be fed by the mother. And therefore, it's important that actually the government should actually promote and encourage the breastfeeding for the working mothers. We have cases where mother, maybe because of her liking, but because she's so cohesive and so eager about the child, some of the mothers actually quit their jobs because of the breastfeeding. And of course, some employers don't care. So the child is actually there crying, what have you at home. The mother actually feels so humiliated, and therefore sometimes quit. Others, I think there are cases where the mothers, I think, are forced for that reason to come with the vehicles and to start feeding outside there. You think she has gone to the toilet, and yet she has gone to feed the child. That, again, as mentioned by Honorable Chege, is not very good, because the condition at the toilet may not be very conducive for the child. Again, breastfeeding, you bring the child very close to the mother. Imagine the child actually has also been enhanced by that good relationship between the mother and the child itself. But you see, if we just want to have a child fed in the toilet and maybe for 2-3 minutes, and you go back because you want to maintain your job, again, it is something that, Madam Speaker, is not very good. And therefore, I think this motion is very, very good, and I want us to make it, when you pass it again, we have to have it implemented so that all working places should have at least a place exclusively made for the mothers who may have their children and be given a chance to do the feeding. And if they don't do the feeding, and some of them may feel by feeding the child, the breast will collapse. I don't know, but that's what I'm told. Then they should carry the milk to be able to give the children, but in a very exclusive place. And basically, Madam Speaker, it's that the objective of this is get a place where the child can be fed properly, so with hygienic conditions that are very good, not in the car, because it could be very hot, you know. So therefore, I think let's have employers actually creating a room for the children, for the mothers to feed their children, because this country has got that treaty, and that treaty actually gives the mothers 6 months exclusively. When you give her whatever it's a working vacation or whatever, for 6 months the child, so the child can be fed properly to enhance that good relationship between the child and the mother. With those few remarks, as a grandfather, I support this motion, and I think let's go ahead and implement this so that it becomes actually a law, that no employer will just be there just for the sake of it. It doesn't matter what it is. You must have an area where the child can be fed, or the mothers who are breastfeeding can have the opportunity to breastfeed their infants. With those few remarks, I support the motion, and I thank Honorable Cheke for having come out with this kind of thing, because it was sometimes back, and 2015 or 2014, yeah, it was there, but I think it went unattended to. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, honorable members. I now propose the question that the Breastfeeding Mothers Bill, National Assembly Bill number 8 of 2024, be now read a second time. Honorable members, as I had promised, I will give the first opportunity to the Honorable Timothy Wanyonyi, Member of Parliament for Westlands.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. First, I want to appreciate and thank Honorable Sabina Cheke for coming up with this bill. Madam Speaker, I believe that it will have been a natural thing that this breastfeeding should not even require legislation. It should be something that comes naturally. I feel that the mother, Madam Speaker, should never be ashamed to breastfeed a child in any place, in public and anywhere, Madam Speaker. I remember in the last parliament, I guess, Madam Speaker, the Honorable Suleha sneaked in the chamber with a baby tucked in her, you know, and somebody said there was a stranger in the house. I think she was just minding the business and she wanted just the child to be there with the mother. The setting aside, Madam Speaker, a place for mothers to go and breastfeed is something that is very, very good. And on this, I want to echo the Safaricom, I think, is the first company, Madam Speaker, that has come up with that idea that there's a place where mothers who are breastfeeding, they have their children there, they take off time from work to go and breastfeed and sit with the child, and that is something that makes the child not to miss the mother. Madam Speaker, breastfeeding the milk of the mother is very, very good because it's the first line of immunization that a human being will develop, because the first 6 months of the mother's milk is what makes that child develop the immune system and also become a healthy child. So mothers anywhere, any place, they should never be ashamed when they want to breastfeed. There should never be any prevention. I read somewhere where a mother who tried to feed a child in a restaurant, and then the restaurant quickly ejected her from the restaurant, and they say she was doing something that was not allowed. Madam Speaker, that should never happen. It is something that should be just a natural thing. It happens. The mother with a child connection should always remain, Madam Speaker, very close. And this bill is going to provide that. The legal framework, Madam Speaker, to make...
Honorable Wanyonyi, I'm interrupting you because today we have many guests, many students, and we do not like them to leave before we recognize that they're in the house. Okay. So, honorable members seated in the public gallery this morning, we have students from Nairobi Road Primary School, Nakuru Town, Nakuru County. We can welcome them our usual way, honorable members. Damar Springs School, Kikuyu Constituency, Kiambu County, and Githaji Primary School, Maragua Constituency in Murang'a County. You are welcome to the National Assembly to observe proceedings of the House. You may continue, honorable member for Westlands.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I also will wish to welcome the students to enjoy the proceedings of Parliament and also see that this is a National Assembly. I'm sure many of them at one time, they'll want to come and sit where we are sitting, Madam Speaker. And we want to encourage them, and that being here, it just requires you to take serious your studies and also discipline in everything you do. Madam Speaker, thank you. Breastfeeding, Madam Speaker, according to this bill, is the first health measure that can give to a child at birth. It also enhances mother-infant relationship. That is true, Madam Speaker, because we always know that the relationship between the mother and the child, it starts at birth. It starts.
Honorable Tim Wanyonyi, let me interrupt your contribution for a minute to welcome a number of schools on a public visit to the National Assembly. So we have in the Speaker's Gallery this morning, Chemi Yatumaini from Kibra constituency, Nairobi County. And then we have Kwanza girls from Kwanza constituency, Trans Nzoia County. Both schools are welcome to the National Assembly to observe the proceedings. The Honorable Ferdinand Wanyonyi will be permitted to welcome the two institutions and the learners to Parliament.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I want this opportunity on the behalf of this House to welcome, I don't see them. Are they the Kwanza? Oh, yeah. I want to take this opportunity, Mr. Speaker, to welcome the Kwanza girls, students from Kwanza second school, and to tell them that this is where we make laws. This is where we do the oversighting of all the functions of the government, and this is where we actually do the budgeting, what have you. And therefore, I think I want you to feel free and enjoy your stay here. And I know one of you may one day come to this House as a member of Parliament to continue helping and, of course, making laws for this country. Therefore, enjoy yourself. This is where your member of Parliament sits to make law for you. And therefore, asante sana, kuja, karibu, tuone vile iko. Asante sana. Thank you. Yeah.
Mr. Speaker, may I proceed?
Problem with the mic? Yeah, Honorable Tim, before you proceed, you know, somebody is saying that Honorable Ferdinand Wanyonyi is out of order. He is certainly not out of order when the name of the school is in Kiswahili. It is Kwanza to mean number one girls in the country in terms of schools. Okay. It's a name. It's Kwanza school, number one school. And the deputy majority leader, who is a Fulbright scholar, will explain that point better. Give the deputy
You see, Honorable Speaker,
leader the mic.
Kwanza in this case, Honorable Speaker, is a noun. Okay, it's not Kiswahili, it's a noun. It could be any language, and that definitely cannot be translated to mean Kwanza as in fast in Kiswahili. It cannot. It is just a noun. And therefore, for him to mix a noun and the Kiswahili language and say that they're the same, it doesn't work like that. So just like Wanyonyi is just a noun. It is not a language. Just the fact that he's called Wanyonyi does not permit him to speak Luya in this assembly. It does not, and therefore he needs to withdraw and speak in English, because the standing orders in this house are that you cannot mix two languages. You either start with one and finish that with the same language, or start with whatever. That is what it means. So he needs to withdraw and say what he wanted to say in English, or he chooses to start in Kiswahili and end in Kiswahili. Or if he wants to speak in Luya, he can start from Luya and end in Luya, and no other languages in between. Yes, I must speak.
Give Honorable Ferdinand Wanyonyi the mic.
All I'm saying that I think it's good that he has come up with saying what he's saying, just so that people know that this is a place where we talk either in Kiswahili or English. I never spoke Kiluya. So therefore, I think he doesn't even know what a Kiluya is. So he's completely out of order.
Yes.
For him to have asked me to speak Kiluya. I can't speak Kiluya here. I'm a national member of Parliament, therefore, karibu sana. You have to laugh.
Yes.
I think when they go back home, they know that this has made them laugh a bit.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, for that chance. Welcome to Nairobi and welcome to this August House. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Ferdinand Wanyonyi, because you only spoke about our beautiful girls from Kwanza Girls in Kwanza constituency, yet I'd given you the opportunity to welcome both institutions. It would be remiss if I never gave the Honorable Rero the chance to welcome the students coming from Chemichemi. Chemichemi, it's called Chemichemi? Chemichemi ya Tumaini, beautiful school from Kibra constituency. In 1 minute, Honorable Urero.
Thank you, Speaker. You know, Honorable Ferdinand is my friend. And being a nationalist, I thought he was going to welcome all the students from all the constituencies. But you missed the point and concentrated on Kwanza. But you also have other students from other constituencies who are here. First, I want to welcome all of them to this prestigious August house. But most importantly also, we have Chemichemi School from Kibra constituency. And today we are having Kwanza, Chemichemi. I think they are all nouns, as my brother said. These are names that not necessarily mean the Kiswahili terms, but they are names that mean these schools are called with those names. I want to welcome them today to this great house and also see that people who live in formal settlement can also come to the National Assembly. It is not a preserve for those who live in prestigious places. Feel welcome, my students from Kibra and from other parts of the country in this house, and make sure that in the future you also work hard to become a member of this National Assembly. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Tim Wanyonyi now has 5 minutes to conclude his contributions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I also just on a light note that there's no language called Luya. There's various dialects in the Luya community. We have the Bukusus, we have the Wanga, the Marakole, all not like that. But there's no language called Luya. We have those dialects, Mr. Speaker. That's on a light note. Mr. Speaker, this bill also provides for mothers to have a place where they can go and change their children without having any shame, without fearing anything about hygiene. And this, Mr. Speaker, it should be provided anywhere, any place that is frequented by people, whether it's a mall, a restaurant, any place where, Mr. Speaker, that people are allowed to go and socialize. So that, Mr. Speaker, this is bringing to providing a legal framework so that these things now are recognized in law, and that even members of parliament who will have children while they are in serving as a member of parliament, they should have a place within the precincts of parliament to go and breastfeed or change the child. They should not be ashamed to carry the child to a place of work, Mr. Speaker, because many times the mothers are forced, sometimes some even quit jobs, to go back and breastfeed and or take care of the child. And sometimes we are not even sure, Mr. Speaker, if you left your child with a caregiver, sometimes they end up even abusing children. But with the mother, Madam Speaker, Mr. Speaker, the mother will be sure that the child is safe, and the first line of a mother interacting or socializing with the child is at that early stage of the child, Mr. Speaker. And you know, Mr. Speaker, I said the science of how a child is carried with, when the mother is carrying the child, is always on the left side of her body, because that's where the heart is. The child listens to the heartbeat when the child is in the womb, the heartbeat is like music to them. And if you look carefully, even the way women carry their handbags is always on the left. And Mr. Speaker, because that just shows that it is where the life is. And we know, Mr. Speaker, that being a mother is an honor. There's one Tanzanian musician who sang and say that a mama hana mfano. If you and many times, Mr. Speaker, you'll find that maybe, especially young mothers, they'll be very much afraid to breastfeed. For example, if they are traveling in a public transport and a child wants to breastfeed, you find that maybe she gets a bit scared about how she can remove her breast and let the child feed. And that is something that we want to encourage, that the first line of immunization, of immunity, it should be built at that path, at the birth, when the child gets the mother's milk, and it's the first time that the child interacts with the world is the mother. The first time that the child will get to know the environment around where the child is interacting is the mother. And therefore, breastfeeding and changing the child and even bathing the child, it is something that it is so natural, and the mother should always be free and to interact with the child, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, I want to support this bill, Mr. Speaker, knowing very well that it is coming at a time when we are having so many cases of young people who are not being, that are even shying, Mr. Speaker, to give birth, because sometimes somebody feels that maybe when they get pregnant at work, they might lose their job. And that going on maternity leave sometimes also does not give enough time for the mother to interact with the child. Therefore, this is a very important bill, and want to support and also thank the Honorable Sabina Cheke for coming up with this bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me an opportunity to.
The Honorable Karoli Omondi, you want to speak to this?
No.
You're waiting for the next...
Actually, I was waiting for the motion by Honorable Tim Wanyonyi on land use, but I think he was not around.
Okay, thank you. The Honorable Dr. James Nyikal, you want to speak to this?
Yes, please.
Honorable Sabina Chege, are you proposing that lactating members of parliament will also have space to breastfeed within the house? Because I believe that is what clause 3 of your bill means. And the speaker would be very pleased. Is that what you are proposing? Because you remember the battle we had before. You will have a chance to explain when you reply. Let the chair of the Departmental Committee on Health tell us the benefits of this bill. Dr. Nyikal.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the bill. And I support the bill, one, because the object of the bill is noble and natural and something we shouldn't even debate. The whole of human effort is actually for human survival, and human survival is basically the survival of babies. And the object here is to make it possible for mothers to breastfeed, something that God himself has provided for, that babies should breastfeed. And this is actually, breastfeeding is the most appropriate way of giving babies nutrition and looking after them. It is the most appropriate. Breast milk has all the elements that are required for growth, for protection, and even for psychological growth. It has the proteins in the exact amounts that are required, so that there is literally no wastage. Other foods we eat, there's a lot of wastage. But with breast milk, everything that goes in is actually utilized. It has all the elements that are protective of the baby's life. It has a protective value as well. breast milk is actually alive. It has living components. It has some cells that actually are derived from the mother that are protective. And so that when the babies are breastfed, they are less likely to get sick even when they are exposed to microbiomes, things that cause illness. It actually have elements that actually kill some bacteria and some viruses as a component of it. It actually, in cases of mothers who are vaccinated, it actually confers protection on the baby to diseases the mother has been vaccinated against. So, Mr. Speaker, that is all the baby needs. In growth and development of the baby, it's still dependent on these nutrients. And it is particularly important in the first 2 years of life, when there is maximum development of the brain in particular. So, Speaker, we may not be aware that after the first 2 years, if you miss out on the appropriate nutrients that are required for development of the nervous system, particularly the brain, even afterwards, if you provide those, it does not help. So it is an opportunity that we do not want to miss. And actually, within the first 5 years, the actual growth of the baby, of the brain, literally stops. The Speaker, if you were to look at the head of a baby compared to the rest of the body, the ratio is very big. But as you get older, the ratio gets smaller because the brain doesn't grow in the same proportion. So, Mr. Speaker, this is the survival of babies, the development of babies, the emotional and even psychological growth. And, Mr. Speaker, the emotional development is not just from the milk, it is the interaction between the mother and the baby. That is actually important for the baby's emotional and psychological growth. So, Mr. Speaker, we need to support this as a society, and therefore this bill supports this process. And all these advantages that I've talked about, Mr. Speaker, will be denied to a mother and the baby if the mother is working. And, Mr. Speaker, it is not only a disadvantage, but I also think it is a discrimination, because for mothers to do what is most natural, is the most natural job that God gave them, and to deny them that is actually a crime. So working mothers who are not able to breastfeed their babies are actually being discriminated against. And, Mr. Speaker, the ladies in the House will tell you that if you ask them to choose between the survival of their baby and even their jobs, many of them will leave the jobs if they had some other means of livelihood. So in these days, when actually mothers work to support their families and that child and other children, it is actually double loss, because she does not. If she's not working, then she misses the income. If she's working, then now she has to lose the opportunity for which she's working. I had a mother tell me that if I cannot take care of my baby because I'm working, then I could as well leave the job. But now they have to do because they need the income. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, this bill provides for that. I'm happy that, Mr. Speaker, it provides for the infrastructure that is required. I've looked at the equipment that is actually listed in the bill. I like that because it's not just providing space and empty space, but actually looking at what will make it possible for a mother to breastfeed in the most hygienic way, including even availability of water, clean running water in the place. So, Mr. Speaker, this bill does that, and it recognizes another fact, that sometimes, even if the space is available, the mother may not have the time. But in that case, she can express the milk, keep it. And this bill provides even the equipment that will actually ensure that the milk is properly kept. So a lot of mothers do actually express milk and keep it, and it can be used later. Honorable Sabina Chege said she was expressing milk. I'm not sure where she was keeping it, but I've been in a position where sometimes even the fathers are sent to take the milk that has been expressed to the baby if they cannot be with the baby. So it's a family issue. So this bill actually does provide for that. It also provides for flexibility in time. You only don't need to give this, to provide the space and provide the equipment, but you also need to provide the time for the mother, so that the bill will place it upon the employers to make sure that the working hours for mothers is flexible. And Mr. Speaker, we don't realize babies are not, children are really not for parents. Children are for the society. Mr. Speaker, what proportion of your income now goes to your mother or anybody here? Most of the work you do is actually for the society. So the society must actually make a lot of input in the development and the growth of the babies. Therefore, providing for flexible time, giving some time during the working hours should not actually be considered as a loss to the company. It is actually an investment to the society at large. Mr. Speaker, this bill provides for enforcement so that an employer who fails to provide this, to make provisions that the law requires, actually can be sanctioned. So it is complete. It provides the infrastructure. It provides the equipment that's required. It also calls for flexibility in time for the working mothers so that they can achieve what is actually important, just not for the mothers, but for the society at large. With that, Mr. Speaker, I support the bill.
The Honorable Mary Emase is recognized to make her contributions to the bill. But before that, let me welcome to the National Assembly students and pupils from Kiamani Primary School, from Kitui West constituency, the great Kitui County, which will be hosting our Mashujaa Day this year. You're welcome to the National Assembly to observe the proceedings of this House that engages in legislation, representation, and oversight on behalf of the Kenyan people. Honorable Emase.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. But Honorable Speaker, before I speak, I think you need to remind members on how we should welcome guests to this House. Because when you say let's welcome in our normal way, then you don't hear any sound, and it means members have forgotten that we need to thump our feet. And that is how we welcome guests to this House. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Emase, thank you for that reminder to fellow honorable members. And so before you proceed, let me also, on behalf of the Speaker and on behalf of the House, welcome students who are seated in the Speaker's gallery, also from Arkoyet Girls High School in Bureti constituency in Kericho County. They are also welcome to observe the proceedings of the House. And I want to allow you, Honorable Emase, as you make your contributions, on behalf of the members, to welcome all the visiting students.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to take this opportunity to welcome all of you, all the schools present in this August House today, to observe the proceedings of the National Assembly. I just want to inform you that at one time we were all seated where you are seated. Probably some of us never even managed to get an opportunity to visit the Parliament, but know that you are on the right track, and one day you can be a leader, you can be a legislator, and you could also be seated here. So work hard, focus, and you will become the leader that you would want to become. Having said that, Honorable Speaker, I want to contribute to this bill and just again, just appreciate Honorable Sabina for this bill. Honorable Speaker, the benefits of breastfeeding cannot be gainsaid. We know that breast milk is food for every child with all the necessary nutrients, sufficient, uniquely designed to meet the requirements in terms of nutrients at every stage of a child's growth. And I think that's why doctors advise that every child needs to be breastfed for at least a minimum of 6 months. Honorable Speaker, last week I visited a friend and I found her expressing her milk. And I asked her, why are you doing this? And she's like, you've forgotten tomorrow is Monday. And in fact, she said, I've been expressing milk and storing it for the last 1 week because I know I'm also traveling. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, this bill is requesting that each public institution needs to have at least a safe space. Should give any lactating mother the dignity in breastfeeding and a decent place to be able to do that. Because most of the time, because of the inconvenience or lack of space, convenient space to be able to breastfeed, many mothers have resorted to expressing milk early and storing, which may compromise the safety, and also probably a contamination may arise because we leave our children to caregivers. So you don't know how the milk may be handled and stored, and that may lead to infections to our children. Honorable Speaker, some mothers have also resorted to giving their children, even before the expiry of the mandatory 6 months, alternative sources of milk, formula milk, which is powder milk, which has to be mixed, and in the process. So that is why it is important that we give these spaces provided so that a mother can breastfeed directly. The child gets milk directly from the breast, which therefore guarantees even the safety, the cleanness, the hygiene needed for this child, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, in fact, I want to say it should not be limited to only public institutions or buildings. Even in our markets, we find some market centers do not even have washrooms. So where are we going to put the table for this mother, lactating mother, to change the child or to breastfeed the child? Some do not even have water. So it should even be extended such that even in all our markets where we have washrooms, there should be an extra clean room with a table, with a seat, where any mother can walk in there, wash their hands, remove her child from the back, change, breastfeed, go back to and sit and sell her vegetables, sell her tomatoes. Honorable Speaker, this is a very important bill, and I want to say that we should support it, and it does not have any extra cost. In this National Assembly, we do not need to construct an extra room. It is just a matter of dedicating one of the existing rooms and equipping it with a table and a sink and flowing water. And any member can walk out of, have a health break and go and breastfeed her child and walk back to the chamber. And you know, when a mother knows that the child is safe and the child can be fed, is okay, then a mother can be able even to concentrate and give more value even to the employer. With those few remarks, Honorable Speaker, I support.
Honorable Emase, before you conclude, because you know what the Constitution says at Article 53, Sub-Article 2, that in all matters concerning a child, the best interest of the child will be the paramount consideration. Assume you are making your contribution as you are doing, and your child who is also outside the chamber is crying to breastfeed. What would you recommend the bill should provide for in such situation?
Honorable Speaker, I have just said if we have that room where my caregiver can walk in with the child and I can take a break to go and breastfeed.
In this case, you are in the middle of contributions.
Definitely, I will have a breastfed before walking into the chamber.
No, I'm saying the child is crying as you contribute now.
Yes.
Should we allow the child into the chambers to breastfeed, as happens in other jurisdictions?
Yes, if it is an emergency, I could walk out of the chamber and breastfeed. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I thank you. The Honorable Joanna Ngeno will clarify that point as he makes his contributions.
Of course, Joanna Ngeno is the new father in the House. Mr. Speaker, I will gladly support this bill, Mr. Speaker, because I would say as the last born, I believe in totality that the smartness that I have, even today, is attributed to the fact that I was breastfed until when I was in class 1, Mr. Speaker, so that when I go back from school, I will rush fast to go and to be breastfed. Mr. Speaker, it's very, very important, and this bill will go a long way in ensuring that our mothers and our sisters, our wives, when they are in place of work, they can actually breastfeed with dignity, without fear or without even having any serious issues on the emotional attachment to their kids when they are breastfeeding. Mr. Speaker, I duly agree that much as we have traditions and beliefs that we normally have as Africans, there are things also we need to accept and agree to put into consideration. Just like the suggestion that you are making, Mr. Speaker, that suppose a member of this House is contributing or is in this House and of course gets a notification that the baby is crying and wants to be breastfed. Mr. Speaker, the prerogative of the Speaker would be to allow that member to rush to a nearby room. And of course, we need to have at least a room. Among these offices we have here, Mr. Speaker, we have the office of the majority leader, the majority whip, and all. So we need to have also another room among those offices that will be especially left for even behind the speakers. So Speaker, we normally have some private rooms here. We can have one for our friends and colleagues in this House, Mr. Speaker, whenever they want to breastfeed, so that in case there is an emergency, a baby is crying outside there, they can easily maneuver their way there and come back and continue with the proceedings. Mr. Speaker, I duly support and I really respect the fact that we need, as I said, as Africans, sometimes we stick to so much traditions to the extent that we forget that things have changed. Mr. Speaker, respect to our kids, to our children is very paramount. The places sometimes we went to school outside these countries, Mr. Speaker, a child is given total maximum respect, so that a child of below 13 years, even if they enter a bus and you're seated, Mr. Speaker, however old you are, you must give way to the kid to sit. So I think those are traditions that we also need to adopt, because we need to give respect to our kids and of course, and give respect to our mothers and our colleagues. So, Mr. Speaker, I fully support. I want us to have in every opportunity, if it is hospitals, we need to have that particular special place. If it is place of work, we need to have that special place. If it is parliament, we need to have that special place. If it is anywhere, just like we are making every building, every place of work accessible by the people living with disabilities, we must also make it accessible to women or our mothers who are breastfeeding, to make it easier for them to access those particular. And remember, Mr. Speaker, if it is in your place of work, if it is in places of work, mothers who would want to be accompanied by their kids, I mean their babies, to those places of work, must have a place where even it will accommodate also those who are taking care of these kids. So it is not only just creating a space for breastfeeding. We must also have that space, have all the facilities to accommodate those mates who will be taking care of the kids while their mothers are in their place of work. Mr. Speaker, I support fully, and I will want to encourage Mheshimiwa Sabina Chege, to work on more bills that touches on mothers and children. Mr. Speaker, I support.
The Honorable Basil will make his contributions after the Honorable Agnes Pareyo from Narok North on account of gender considerations. But before that happens, allow me to welcome visiting institutions to the House of Parliament. Honorable members, we have in the public gallery students and teachers from Mutus Mixed Secondary School in Mbere North in Embu County. We also have in the public gallery Gakanga School from Kieni constituency in the Great Nyeri County. And then we have pupils and students from Oloikum Nasira Primary, Kajiado West constituency, Kajiado County. The pupils, the students, and their teachers are welcome to the House of Parliament to observe the proceedings. Honorable Agnes Pareyo, you will welcome the students and proceed to make your contributions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to welcome all the students from other constituencies to this great house. And I want to urge them to watch the proceedings and look at what we are doing and learn from what we are doing here. And I also want to encourage them to go on with their studies and put more efforts, because they are going to be tomorrow's leaders, and they will also be here. And thank you for giving me that opportunity. And to the bill, Mr. Speaker, thank you also for giving me this opportunity to contribute to this breastfeeding bill by Honorable Sabina Chege. And I want to say that as breastfeeding is godly. It's so natural, and that is the only way a newly born child communicates with a mother. When you enter into a house where a mother is breastfeeding the child, you will think there is somebody else, because this mother is talking. And you'll start looking for who is this that she's talking to. She's talking to the baby, and the baby is carefully looking at the mother. So it's another way of communicating with this baby. And the mother's milk is nutritious, that it's complete food, it doesn't need anything else. You can breastfeed your child for 6 months, and the child will grow because it has all what it needs to be complete food. And this milk helps to develop a child's brain. And so it's important to make sure that breastfeeding has a place and has all the respect it deserves, so that this mother can breastfeed the child without fear or without thinking that where she is not right. So we need to create a space and also give them time, because a mother also thinks about the child, because there is that connection between the child and the mother. So the mother needs time. Though I'm hearing other new terminologies of expressing milk in my community, we don't know that, but I think soon we'll also learn to do that. Because ours, we just think it is direct from the mother to the child. And so this mother needs time, because some women leave their jobs because she needs time with the child. And to give these mothers time, or to give them a priority to work, we need to create a conducive place for these mothers. It's just not only another place, it's a special place, because what they are doing is special, and the child has a right like any other person in this world. Once the child has come to this world, she has a right. The first right she has is for the mother to breastfeed that child. So for me, I support breastfeeding this bill, and to say that it is important, and we must all have in the markets, in the working places, everybody who is employing somebody who is breastfeeding must make sure that this woman has time to go and breastfeed that child. And for that reason, Mr. Speaker, I support. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Pareo, also for the good community service you are doing before and you continue to do around those other issues concerning the family. The Honorable Basil is now recognized to make his contributions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the chance to contribute. Allow me to appreciate Honorable Sabina Chege for this very important bill, Mr. Speaker. As a father of two, Mr. Speaker, and I know you are also a father, and my good friend Parashina is a father of three, we all know what mothers go through.
Honorable Basil, in our African culture, we never count our children.
No, you don't count, yes.
Also as men. I don't know whether the Akamba culture permits, but in the
our
Luo
culture,
culture
it does. So, as a father, I'm saying, Mr. Speaker, we know what our women go through when it comes to breastfeeding, Mr. Speaker. There's something called time poverty, whereby women actually try to balance between productive roles, community roles, and the reproductive roles, Mr. Speaker. And that's why this bill comes very timely to support flexible working hours for lactating mothers, Mr. Speaker. Some employers, Mr. Speaker, do not recognize the particular role women play when it comes to breastfeeding and the time challenge they have to be able to report to work, at the same time ensure exclusive 6 months breastfeeding, Mr. Speaker. And that's why I do support the bill, because it provides the legal framework to support lactating mothers and more so working mothers to be able to have time to provide breastfeeding or to breastfeed their child, at the same time be able to report to work and contribute to the well-being of the economy, Mr. Speaker. Importantly, Mr. Speaker, if you look at the first world, they have similar laws, Mr. Speaker. So having this bill passed through by this parliament will put Kenya at the same path, the same level with advanced economies, which recognize the contribution women make to the economy, at the same time the role of women when it comes to reproductive activities within households, Mr. Speaker. If you look overall, by having this bill, Mr. Speaker, the immunity, the health care of infants will be promoted, Mr. Speaker, because breast milk provides essential antibodies as well as nutrients that are important to boost immunity of infants, Mr. Speaker. And as an output, when a child immunity is boosted, Mr. Speaker, you reduce the costs related to health treatment for infants. These will actually save money for many families, and that's why we recommend for exclusive 6 months breastfeeding, Mr. Speaker. Importantly, Mr. Speaker, the maternal health is enhanced by having such a bill. Remember, we have what we call postpartum depression that is associated with taking care of infants. And when we have such a bill, we promote health care of mothers. If Dr. Nikal was here, he would agree with me that breast milk or having room to support breastfeeding, it reduces risk of mothers getting cancer. We are talking of ovarian cancer as well as breast cancer, Mr. Speaker. And that's why this bill is so timely, Mr. Speaker. Additionally, the bill promotes family-friendly environments because lactating mothers will have a time to connect with their child, at the same time have time to support other well-being within a family. So this bill will promote family-friendly environment. And that's why I have all reasons to support the bill, Mr. Speaker. Additionally, the bill will align to the global best practices. And these I'm talking about Sustainable Development Goals number 3, which talks of good health and well-being. So having this bill, we will be able to align ourselves with the requirements from a global stage. and be able to get to the list of countries that promote well-being of infants, at the same time well-being of mothers, Mr. Speaker. So in principle, the bill will also eliminate discrimination. We have seen mothers who are not even allowed to board public vehicles when they are lactating or when they are breastfeeding. Sometimes they are harassed in vehicles. So having this bill, we provide the legal framework to protect these mothers and to criminalize issues of discrimination when it comes to lactating mothers, Mr. Speaker. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, as the Vice Chair for Member Services and Facilities, I'll actually champion for spaces where lactating mothers, including our staff, can be able to breastfeed their infants. So with those, I submit and I support the bill, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable Basil, you know, there is an inquiry I keep making, which is not idle. You remember a similar suggestion was made by the Honorable Suleha in the previous parliament, and I know the mover of the bill I can still remember. And when we were chasing with a child from these chambers, a week later, in the United Kingdom Parliament at Westminster, a member was contributing with a child on her bosom. And by the way, when it could not continue, the Speaker of the House took the child and held the child. It was the flower of the future. And so is the case in the United States, so is the case in Scandinavian countries. Yes. Why does it, are you people suggesting, as honorable members, that we will allow lactating, mothers to breastfeed at places of work, but somewhere behind their actual place of work? This is very far. You go to somewhere, I don't know where it is now. Why can't we allow Honorable Sabina, if God were to use her to give another Kenyan child, to breastfeed as she contributes? Well, the best interest of the child. Go to Hungary. That is how they do it. Why are we shying? What is this tradition that makes you think in the context of breastfeeding that the breast is anything other than food for the child? The Honorable Dorothy Kiara, make your contributions.
Honorable Speaker, as I support this motion and make my contribution, I want to say we are lobbying for safe, secure breastfeeding stations. And in an open place, it's not one of them. Honorable Speaker, allow me to start by saying the journey and terrain of working women has not been easy. Honorable Speaker, I want to say this as I thank Madam Sabina Chege for coming up with this bill number 8 of 2024, because, Honorable Speaker, I have been here for a longer time in this world. Honorable Speaker, working women have had it all. There is a time that working women were not allowed. Once you are employed, you get expectant, you get pregnant, you lose your job. Honorable Speaker, from there, it went further that women were allowed to give birth, but there was no maternity leave. What they used to do, like in the teaching profession where I have been all my life, they would get a monitor to replace them during that time when they want to stay home. And it was barely 1 month, because I don't know for how long you can stay without a salary. Honorable Speaker, we moved from there and we started robbing for maternity leave. And Honorable Speaker, I don't want to go into details to that. We secured maternity leave for our workers. And today, Honorable Speaker, I want to take exception in the teaching fraternity under the reign of Dr. Nancy Macharia, where the women teachers were able to garner 4 months maternity leave. That is 120 days. That is the long they stay with their babies at home. And on top of that, we too went ahead and lobbied for the men. If you give birth, a man can be able to get paternity leave for 2 weeks. Because, Honorable Speaker, the emotional attachment of a newborn baby to both the mother and the father is equally very critical. Honorable Speaker, today we are looking at a bill that we are all supporting. And I have gotten word that it is not the first time that this bill is coming before this House. And Honorable Speaker, today it is my prayer that we are not going to bring this bill and somewhere along the way, we just keep it in the shelves and it disappears in the periphery. I want to trust that today it will be the turning point that we will be able to actualize this bill once it becomes law. But before then, Honorable Speaker, a lot has been said by my previous speakers. We know the World Health Organization's recommendation is that every newborn child must be breastfed for 6 months exclusively without a break and without taking any other food, because breast milk has been found to have all the nutrients that will support the physical, mental, emotional growth of a child. And it is normally said that those children who breastfeed exclusively very well, even they live long, even at old age. Even the old age diseases that come along, maybe bones and other issues, they arise because somewhere along the way, this child was not fed well exclusively for the 6 months. Honorable Speaker, we are saying this, and it's very unfortunate that some of the children don't make it because mothers, unfortunately, some find themselves not there to breastfeed the children. As we go giving birth, we lose mothers. It is not a secret. And we are not saying those children don't grow. They also grow. But we are now today insisting that those mothers who are able to see their children, let those children have an opportunity of being fed, breastfed for these 6 months. Honorable Speaker, I want to make a few proposals, Honorable Speaker, because this recommendation, this bill is recommending several things that must be done. And as we wait for it to be assented to law, there are several things that we can be making even at our level. What does it take to have a breastfeeding station, even, for example, in our schools, Honorable Speaker? We know the National Government Constituency Development Fund is doing a lot in our schools. You build classrooms, you are building laboratories, you are building administration blocks. Honorable Speaker, let us action, even before anything else, that when you are doing the administration block, just carve a small room so that you put it aside there and say, this is a breastfeeding station. Honorable Speaker, we are doing markets everywhere across the country. And I want to thank His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, because for the first time, Honorable Speaker, our market women are going to live in dignity. Honorable Speaker, we are having markets being elected across the country. And Honorable Speaker, it is the high time that we lobby the Ministry of Housing so that as these markets are being constructed in their plan, they can put and shelve in every market a small area where we can call it a breastfeeding station. Honorable Speaker, so that by the time even this bill sees the light of the day, we shall be sure and certain that we are not going to start asking ourselves, where do we get these houses? if all the markets that are being done today, we carve out an area and call it a breastfeeding station, Honorable Speaker, the only thing that will be left is these other accessories that we are talking about, the table and a small table where a baby will stay and some benches where the girls who will be bringing these children will be staying as they wait for the mother to come and breastfeed the child. Honorable Speaker, it is equally important to note that, Honorable Speaker, most of these things that we tend to think they are very difficult to implement. It is us, the leaders, who sometimes fall short of following up on what we say. Honorable Speaker, like I remember very passionately, and I want to say this, Honorable Speaker, as much as it's not related to this bill. Honorable Speaker, some years back, there was a bill that was passed by an honorable member in this house, which we used to call the Musira Bill. The Musira Bill used to talk about pension and how pension should be paid to our workers who have left either the teaching service or any other service. And the Musira Bill was passed in this house. But, Honorable Speaker, up to date, the Musira Bill died a slow death, and now we are talking about other ways of, Honorable Speaker, paying pensions. So, Honorable Speaker, I want to urge this House, as I support this bill, as I support Honorable Sabina Chege, I want to say, Honorable Speaker, it is the high time we as women of this country, we follow up all the issues that touch on women, and we are going to rob you men so that this bill sees the light of the day. Honorable Speaker, I want to say it's a very, very progressive bill. It is a bill that we need to pass as early as today, Honorable Speaker, so that we give dignity to our lactating mothers. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Dorothy Kiera, nominated MP. Before further debate, let me welcome the following institutions visiting the National Assembly to observe proceedings to the House. We have in the public gallery students and teachers from the following institutions. One is Utithi Primary School in Kibwezi East Constituency, Makueni County. Number two is Chepkolon Green Islands School from Ainamoi constituency in Kericho County. Number three is St. Vincent de Paul Boys from Kitutu Chache constituency in Kisii County. Number four is Heroes of the Nation School, Kitutu Chache constituency, Kisii County. Number five is St. Benedictine Cap Kimiluo School, Bomet East constituency, Bomet County. Number six is Mukungi Primary School from Kinangop constituency in Nyandarua County. And then we have Nyangwa Girls from Bere South constituency in the Great Embu County. All those students, pupils, and teachers are welcome to the National Assembly to observe the proceedings of the House. The Honorable Ibrahim Saneh is now recognized to make his contributions and give us the perspectives of the northeastern part of the country. There can be no point of order. The Speaker has only recognized Honorable Saneh. Pardon? What is out of order, Honorable Orero? There is very little we can do. That motion on the Borero having not been moved at the beginning when the bill was proposed for debate. What I would urge members is to, reduce the time so that as many as of you can contribute to the bill. Honorable Sani, so you don't have to use the entire 10 minutes. If you can.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Contrary to the assertions of Honorable Dorothy Modoni, I was not breastfed myself. Not because I did not have a mother or I lost my mother. Naturally, I refused to take breast milk. And so is my firstborn. He did not take breast milk, and we are doing well. She made an assertion that those who don't breastfeed may not live long. I want to live as long as 100 years. And in as much as I support this motion, I know breast milk is of great importance to both the child and the mother. It offers giving designated places to mothers who are working, gives them that flexibility and work arrangement that is friendly to them so that they can bond and feed their infants. It is important to both the mother and the child in terms of guaranteeing the health of their child, optimizing nutrition, and improving their greater health, Mr. Speaker. It reduces absenteeism at work. Most female workers will be available if such designated places are availed. It increases employee trust, loyalty, and productivity by female workers, Mr. Speaker, meaning there will be low staff turnover, especially for the female workers, Mr. Speaker. It reduces health costs if the converse would have happened, meaning if we wouldn't breastfeed our children, there would have been bigger costs in making sure that our children are healthier. There is also a positive public image on the part of bringing children and mothers closer at the workplace. It means we will be a nation that cares for its women and their children, Mr. Speaker. It will reduce stress. Mothers are assured that their youngsters are always close by, making sure that they work in a very less stressful environment, Mr. Speaker. There will be better work-life integration. When you will have home and work close by, it means there will be closer integration and job satisfaction shall be increased. However, I have a thinking that there is a paternity health within our law. I mean paternity leave that's allowed within the law. A 4-month paternity leave. Given the cost-benefit analysis, I hazard to recommend that can't we increase the paternity leave to 6 months, because the most crucial part of breastfeeding is 6 months, than trying to figure out bringing infrastructure, bringing in designated breastfeeding places all over the country. Imagine from the National Assembly to the assistant chief and the teacher in the rural villages in all of our locations and sub-locations. It is cumbersome, it is never cost-effective, very expensive, and I believe it will be easier if we would have legislated otherwise, making sure that we increase the paternity leave to 6 months would have augured wealth for our economy and for purposes of convenience, Mr. Speaker. Malnutrition, what it is? Malnutrition my fear, Mr. Speaker, my fear, in as much as I positively support this motion, Mr. Speaker, you may not be listening. Mr. Speaker, I wish to have your ear.
Consulting.
Yeah, thank you.
On what you mentioned, did you say 6 months paternity, or you meant 6 months?
Maternity leave. Maternity leave.
Or you meant both?
Not really, maternity.
Okay, maternity.
So that mothers can have at least the requisite 6 months exclusively to breastfeed their infants than proposing infrastructure, designated areas from Nairobi, from the National Assembly to the village. We have female working teachers, female chiefs. You can imagine the cost. If we can do a little bit of cost-benefit analysis, I propose that we increase the maternity leave so that we can reduce the cost. Our economy is not doing well. We may look a bit Western. We may be a bit impracticable insofar as the implementation of this motion is concerned. I further believe if this goes through, in as much as I support breastfeeding, Mr. Speaker, the next step will be bringing in nannies, nurses, into the same designated places. So you can imagine, if we are to think forward progressively, we will ask for more, and we need them. And this brings the question, where is malnutrition pronounced in this country, Mr. Speaker? Is it in the National Assembly? Is it in Nairobi urban centers? Malnutrition is in the ASALs, where breastfeeding would have been crucial. We should think at least novel so that whatever we legislate has some sense, some practicability, some touch, so that we don't just legislate in vanity, but legislate from a practical perspective. I support this motion. It is great. Its importance cannot be gainsaid. However, let us think twice. Must we just put everything on paper in the name of legislation? Can we just do it in a simpler way without much ado? I support, but with major variations. Thank you.
The Honorable Naisula Lesuda will have the mic before the Honorable Charles Ngosia because of the subject matter and on gender considerations.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for this very important consideration.
Honorable Naisula, I'm reminded to welcome a number of institutions visiting the House. Let me therefore interrupt your contributions a bit to welcome in the public and speakers gallery students from Kabiengek Secondary School in Konoin constituency, Bomet County, and students from St. Mary's Primary, Mogosho constituency, Baringo County. On my own behalf and on behalf of this House of Parliament, you are all welcomed to the House to observe the proceedings. The Honorable Naisula will now make her contributions. You may also have a sentence to welcome the visiting institutions.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I want to welcome all the students who are at the public gallery. Welcome to the National Assembly. And I hope that you will take this opportunity to learn and also to be inspired and motivated to work hard, to excel in everything that you do, and just know that the only limitation to what you really want to achieve is yourself. And I wish you the very best, and as you travel back to your various counties, safe travel together with your teachers, and all the best. Now, Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for this opportunity, for giving me to contribute to this very important bill, the Breastfeeding Mothers Bill 2024 by Honorable Sabina Chege. And I must say I even like the title of the bill, Breastfeeding Mothers. There's no trying to make it anything else. It is just breastfeeding mothers, Mr. Speaker, and so I want to congratulate her. And from the onset, I want to say that I have realized that most of us in Parliament, and even those, let's say, who are movie script writers and all that, it is through your experiences. If you're very passionate about something, it is most likely the experiences that you have gone through that shape the ideas or what you'd really want to move. And so that is why you see sometimes when someone has a bill or a motion, they are very, very passionate about it, especially if it is through experience. That is what has pushed you towards it. And so I know that Honorable Sabina Chege got one of her children in this parliament, when she was a member in this parliament. And I'm sure that has influenced her thinking about not just herself, but other mothers, Mr. Speaker. Personally, my two children, Enzi and Zuri, I got them while in this parliament. And I must say that there are some things that have been made easier, or have made it easier for me to come back to work. Actually, if you think, or someone just thinks I got the second one is just turning 2 this month, you might not think it is true. But it is because also in Parliament I have received the necessary support that I needed as a breastfeeding mother. Mr. Speaker, I know that as a parliament we have come from far, and I'm just sharing these experiences so that even as we think about other areas, even as parliament we have come from very, very far, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Sarah Korere also got a child in this parliament, and she used to sneak in. The baby used to be brought to parliament, Mr. Speaker, because we had nowhere for her to breastfeed her child. And so the baby used to be brought to parliament, and she used to go to the car park to breastfeed in the car. And you know, it's a whole army thing, you know, it's a whole business to breastfeed. It's not as easy as you just think, that is just give the baby the breast and that's it. It's a whole, you need to cover the baby, to do a lot of things. And so you can imagine in the car and how squeezed it is, and you have to chase the driver away and the bodyguard and park, I don't know, facing where, so that the tint is enough. I mean, it was really uncomfortable for her. I know of mothers in other institutions where they have to do it in the toilet, because that is the only place. I mean, where else in the office can you breastfeed? They go to the toilet or the kitchen. If there's a kitchenette in the workplace, they go and breastfeed there. And thank you for the look on your face. That is what is happening in the workplaces, Mr. Speaker, of our mothers who have children at work. And the other thing is that, so for many of us, after the 3rd month, we come back to work. And so what do? We have to pump breast milk and leave at home and put in a freezer. And actually, breast milk can stay in a freezer for over a year, and it's going to be okay. And so you're in the middle of breastfeeding and pumping and all that, Mr. Speaker. And so you can imagine a mother who has to pump the milk so that she goes with the milk back home, and she's pumping in a toilet or in a kitchenette at workplace, Mr. Speaker. So we're even risking the health of that child and also even of the mother, because their immunity is not yet fully in place, Mr. Speaker. And so this bill, I had Honorable from Mandera, not Mandera, but from Wajir, Sane, saying that this is going to be costly. There is nothing costly about dedicating one room in your workplace to be a place where mothers can breastfeed or comfortably pump milk. When you look at the cost net, finally, where you have a happy mother, she's happy at work, she will deliver more. If you look at the cost benefit, if the child maybe is brought to work and she can be able to breastfeed, we'll also have a healthy nation, because the child will be able to be breastfed and also ensure that the child is happy. And so I don't know why when we think about social issues, we quickly think about the cost and the expenses, while not thinking the net benefit of it finally for those mothers and children, Mr. Speaker. So Parliament did a good thing. We now have a place where you can breastfeed your child. Also, in the new building, I think there's a creche. Initially, the men informally used to tell us, the women, please stop bringing a creche to Parliament, because our wives will be telling us to come with the children as they also do other errands. And the men don't want to come with their children to Parliament. They want to be able to pass by somewhere else later and not have to drop the children at home. But having said that, the Parliamentary Service Commission ensured that now we have a creche. And I must say, I visited Safaricom creche. You know, where now you come, a creche is different from the breastfeeding room. I know why you're laughing. I don't know whether you are one of the men who did not want us to have a creche. And just so that if your wives are watching at home, we now have a creche. Your husbands can come with their children to Parliament. Yes, Speaker.
Your Speaker is the greatest advocate for breastfeeding. In fact, if you remember the last Parliament when Honorable Sulea was at the forefront in moving it, and remember that day she sneaked the house up to somewhere there and the sergeants were chasing away with the child. It was your speaker who stood between the sergeants, the house rules, and her to say that the child must breastfeed. So don't worry about the spouse of the speaker. The spouse of the speaker knows where the speaker stands.
So anyway, thank you, Speaker. And I must say, I was going to talk about it. Honorable Zuleha made a strong point, and I remember some people saying, this one is just struggling with postpartum, and that is why she's bringing her child and drama here. No, but she wanted to communicate to us, and not just to us as Parliament, but to the rest of the country, and I think she made her point, and we commend her for that, Mr. Speaker. And so Parliament now has a creche. There's also a good thing that Parliament has done, and it was introduced by Honorable Martha. Wangari also had a child, while in children, actually, she's had 2 children in Parliament. And so Honorable Martha pushed that for 1 year, as members of Parliament, women who get their children while in Parliament, they are allowed to travel locally when we have assignments with a nanny and one child, and the nanny and a child, because it is unfair that the rest of the members continue with their work, but just because you have a child, because it's not a sickness, it's not an ailment, it's just natural. I mean, it's the most beautiful thing to bring a child to this world. And so Parliament has done very well that they've supported us. I've not been able to miss a lot of my work, committee work, when we have to go out in the field. I have been able to work with my nanny and also the child. And also it's just a beautiful experience that you work during the day. I can sneak in and go and be with the child and bond with the baby, Mr. Speaker. The only thing that we might want to implore the Parliamentary Service Commission is that let's not just make it the local work and local travels, but even when we have assignments sometimes out of the country, we can just consider it for a year, so that also the women, the mothers who are breastfeeding in Parliament, Mr. Speaker, do not miss on their assignment outside the country just for a year. And at any given time, Mr. Speaker, there can only be 1 lady or 2 who are expectant or who are breastfeeding in Parliament, Mr. Speaker. And so I wanted to commend Parliament, the Parliamentary Service Commission led by the Speaker, and also the clerk for facilitating and enabling the mothers in this House have these opportunities, but also to urge all other institutions from the top level, even if it's at the chief level, Mr. Speaker, that even a mother who has a complaint wants to go and see the chief. I don't have to leave my child at home. I can come with the baby as I'm on the queue waiting to see the chief, and I want to breastfeed. Let there be a small room where a mother can go in and breastfeed. And so I'm not just talking so that it's not a matter of the privileged. It's not supposed to be, in Parliament and all the top offices. It should be to the lowest office, Mr. Speaker, that we see it. I see some churches, they do very well. If you go to Nairobi, I think if you go to NPC and others, even in church, there is a place where it's soundproof. They allow the children, so that even as the children cry, you don't miss the service and you can breastfeed comfortably in that room. And so I think that is something that should happen across board and across all aspects and all areas. So thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I support and commend Honorable Sabina for this very important bill.
I know Honorable Charles Ngusia agrees the Speaker decided right to allow you to speak before him, because those experiences are deep. Before you give Honorable Charles Ngusia the mic, let me welcome a number of institutions in both the public gallery and the Speaker's gallery who are visiting the House to observe proceedings. What is happening in the mountain, the Honorable Kagombe? The mountain is very loud in Parliament today. What is happening? Yeah, so let me welcome students and pupils and their teachers from Gatue Primary School in Kirinyaga Central constituency, the great Kirinyaga County. And then students and pupils from Al-Huda Muslims Primary School, Kajiado Central constituency, Kajiado County. Both institutions are welcome to the National Assembly to observe proceedings. The Honorable Charles Ngusia will now speak.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. Indeed, it's a good time to bring this motion, because I have observed this week is one of the busiest. Children are visiting from all over the country, And I would like to take this opportunity to welcome them to the National Assembly. Mr. Speaker, it has been scientifically proven that breastfeeding actually is very important because it strengthens the immune system of the baby, and also sometimes it improves the mood of the mother who is a lactating mother, Mr. Speaker. And this bill is actually seeking to provide the legal framework for the mothers who wish to breastfeed by giving them the rights actually to get lactation place in the institutions they are working in, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I am speaking this because I was just imagining if I was a woman. I got 2 children when I joined Parliament, the first term and this term, Mr. Speaker. And I was just imagining if I was a woman lactated, it would be a very difficult circumstances for me, but I would like to salute women all over the world. Women, congratulations. We love you, we respect you, we adore you, and we cherish you forever because of what you do to our society. Mr. Speaker, this bill is actually describing some of the basic necessity or irreducible minimums of the lactation place. If you look at it, it specifies that lactation place should be shielded and free from intrusion from the colleagues or the co-workers. And this one will provide privacy to the person, to a mother who is lactating, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let us not just create a lactation place. It needs to be quiet. It needs to be calm. It needs to be clean and conducive to both mother and the child so that they can enjoy good time together, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, some of these descriptions already given here, they are very good, like having a lockable door, having a wash basin for safety and cleanliness, having a fridge so that when you express milk and you don't have time to go back, you can leave the baby and get that milk fed to the baby, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there are so many issues we can discuss, but because my colleagues want to talk about this bill, I will not repeat what our colleagues have said. So I would like to say this is a very good bill, Sabina Chege. Make sure it is fully implemented in our country. We can have lactation place even in aircrafts. When some of the mothers, actually they are traveling, they struggle a lot. Where do you lactate in an aircraft when you are flying long distance, like to Sydney, Australia, Japan? Maybe we can extend it to the transport industry, and we will have lactating mothers enjoying their time with their baby. With those few remarks, I salute you for bringing this motion, and I fully support it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Peter Orero is now recognized to speak and put this also in the context of education.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think this is one of the bills that has made me really wait even when lunchtime is almost, because it is affecting all of us. When I look at you, Mr. Speaker, you look like somebody who was breastfed for 2 years. When I look at your chest, because we believe in our culture that a man who was breastfed well, you recognize him by the size of the chest and also the level of intelligence. Because lactation in our culture a long time, it acted also as a family planning. If you look at your family, you will realize that people were born after 2 years. Because our mothers used to breastfeed for at least 2 years. I would have wished that we put a rider on that bill, that we have compulsory lactation for mothers, not just for 6 months, but at least for 1 year, so that we have what is called early good mental development. And during lactation, if Dr. Nyikal was here, I would tell you that it inhibits certain hormones which allows for pregnancies and controls estrogen and those kind of hormones. So we need to encourage lactation. Now, I want to bring my experience when I was a principal of school. And today I can confess that during my tenure, all the mothers who gave birth, they were expected to come back after 3 months, but I used to give them even after 1 year. And if they were in my department, I will redistribute their lessons and make sure that when the mothers come back to school, they are ready to teach and impart knowledge to our children. I am looking for a time when even the Teacher Service Commission will give teachers who are mothers in this country, not just 3 months. You can imagine if you have had a cesarean and you have given birth and you are wanted back to class within 3 months, even when you have not healed. And some of our people will even interdict our lady teachers because of not reporting, yet they know that they have small kids. We need as a country that we respect mothers because all of us are products of mothers. Now this bill has come at the right time. Now, we have what is called daycare centers. I wish that the NGCDF allows the committees, the CDF committees, to be able to build daycare centers for the young girls who have given birth and they want to still go to colleges, and all the TVET centers to have daycare centers so that we encourage young mothers who can carry their children, live at daycare centers within the institution, go on with their education, and later on, if they so wish, to go and breastfeed. Now, this should also be a rider in this bill. I want to say that this bill should be supported by all of us, and not necessarily these sectors to be brought next to the working places. I support that the mothers should be allowed to breastfeed even within the chambers, just like other countries allow, so that our mothers also who are legislators are respected and are allowed to do breastfeeding where they work. And because of time, I want to thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to contribute to this very important motion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
For the convenience of the House will now adjourn to go and prepare for the afternoon session. We are standing, honorable members. Honorable members, the time being 1:59 p.m., this House stands. Thank you. Honorable members, the time being 12:59 p.m., this House stands adjourned until today, Wednesday, the 30th day of July 2025 at 2:30 p.m.